Let him on the field.
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy, also heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. It is it's a Thursday, and it's a college football playoff semifinal Thursday. We've got football once again tonight. We'll talk about all of the college football playoff matchups left. Well, I guess the only two that are left. Notre Dame, Penn State. Which historic program can come away with a chance at a national title? Or can Texas beat Ohio State and send Ryan Day packing?
Well, I mean, tonight is the game for who are we all going to be rooting for if they play Ohio State, except for Ohio State fans.
Yes.
Because none of us want the good times to stop rolling with Ryan Day sucks. Because personally, I enjoy that a lot.
Well, the pressure's never been higher for Ryan Day at this point. And, yeah. So, because, I mean, he's coming in expected to win. Everyone expects Ohio State after the first two games of the playoff bracket to be just rolling right to a national championship. So the storyline's going to be Ryan Day screwed it up again. If they lose to Texas, it's going to be, wait a minute, you're telling me Ryan Day had the number one team in the country and couldn't beat a team that just barely got beat by something called a skidaboo? No.
Scattaboo.
It's not going to be good if he doesn't win. So we'll talk about all the ins and outs of that. Welcome into the program. It is a lovely Thursday. I always enjoy it when Jeremy shows up unannounced.
Yeah, that's what happens when you leave your bag in the studio. I went to plug everything in Mullet Manor this morning about 8 o'clock, and I went, I need 8 things. Mm-hmm. I have 2. How do I make that? Oh, that's not going to work.
Yeah, once you start carrying 2 bags, you got to remember both bags.
Yeah, that is important.
Mm-hmm.
My lovely wife got me a camera bag for it was one of the things she got me for Christmas, and that was my first day needing said bag, and I forgot it.
Yep, it happens.
Right there, I can touch it from where I'm sitting right here.
That kind of thing happens. But so today we are blessed with the Mullet Man in the studio with us. He will not be in the studio with us tomorrow.
No.
I will guarantee you that because there is white stuff in the forecast.
And Jeremy don't do snow.
Jeremy doesn't do snow.
Yeah, look, I've never lived anywhere that didn't have snow issues, and I detest snow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to start about halfway through our show tomorrow, so you rest assured. I don't care if I have to show up here at 6 o'clock to get whatever I need. I'll do it.
All right, it is a college football semifinal preview show today. We'll talk about the best prospects in the NFL draft as well that are going to be on display tonight and tomorrow night. Tonight, we have the Orange Bowl.
The Orange. It doesn't resonate like the Cotton Bowl.
Penn State, Notre Dame tonight. Tomorrow night.
The Cotton Bowl.
There it is. Ohio State and Texas. So far in the college football playoff. What? Give it a grade. Give me a letter grade for how you feel this playoffs has gone.
Oh, it's a big old duh.
It's a D?
Oh, it's a duh. How many good games have we had? Ohio State, Oregon was awful.
Oh, yeah.
We were at the only good game in the playoffs so far.
Was it?
Which I feel like the college football playoffs should take that into account and just take us to all of them next year. Now, I don't know how you're going to do that. It's going to involve helicopters and twirly birds, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, name me what else has been good. All 4 first-round matchups were terrible. And I get it,
Yes.
Clemson fans, you get real mad when I say that. Did you, honest to God, ever for 1 second believe they were going to beat Texas? Because I did.
Because you shouldn't have.
I mean, if you did, that's on you.
I mean, it was exciting up until a point, right? Ohio State, Tennessee was exciting until the kickoff, and then it wasn't exciting anymore. Penn State and SMU, we all knew how that was going to happen. There was going to be a big old
I didn't think it was going to be
stain right there on the field.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but yeah, I did feel like Penn State.
I didn't feel good about that from the jump.
Now, I guess
Indiana
here's my
just
question.
didn't look like they were in the same class as a college football playoff team.
This would be my question. What do we do if both of those things happen tonight and tomorrow? Ohio State comes out and boat races Texas, and one of these two teams just smears the other one tonight. Now what? What?
Now you pray for the best national championship you've ever seen.
And that's probably not going to happen.
I don't know.
I think it's so funny that we all wanted a playoff, and then we got it, and we've literally done nothing but complain about it since. That's the most millennial thing ever. You whine and cry until somebody gives you something.
But that's what sports fans do. We complain about everything. But when you give us so much to complain about, when there are so many holes in the process, of course there's going to be talk. Of course we're going to sit here and bash you for letting in SMU.
I don't think you have to worry about that moving forward.
I'm
going to go out on a limb and say when they convene those meetings next year, they're going to go, we ain't leaving South Carolina out again. Because those people are driving us nuts.
I still just don't understand like what the thought process was in that. Oh, the number 8 team in the country loses to the number 16 team in the country, but they're still good enough to be in the top 12
I explained
at
that
the
to
end
you.
of it.
That part,
Like,
that shouldn't elude you at all. A team plays in a conference championship game and we punish them. Okay, and end of conference championship games. That's how that happened.
Yeah,
you painted yourself in a corner, and I would say that wasn't predictable. Except I literally walked in here and said, "You do realize what's coming, right?" Because you boo-booed, as the NCAA does. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to look at the brighter side here.
The brighter side?
Just maybe we'll say glass half full. Jeremy knows he doesn't have to put on pants tomorrow, so I'm trying to see things in a shinier status. You got 4 teams here that, outside of Ohio State, there's not been a whole lot of success on the grander scale. There's no Alabama here.
No.
There's no Georgia here. There's no Clemson here. You wanted parity. You wanted new options. Here's new options.
But they are. But they are Georgia's, Clemson's of old.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Notre Dame, all of these teams had their time. Right? And I think that's the best part about this, about the way that this shook out, was we got a good chance. I mean, it's not a great one because I feel like we all kind of feel like Ohio State is the overwhelming favorite here. Like, we'll be mildly shocked, at least, if they don't win it all.
Really?
You don't think so? They're not the favorite to you? Like, if you had to pick now, gun to your head, somebody's going to win this thing.
I would say Ohio State.
Of course you'd say it's Ohio State.
It wasn't that they're the favorite. It's that you would be mildly surprised.
I would
If
be.
they came out and let Quinn Ewers throw for 4 bills tomorrow, you're going to be surprised. The definition of what they've been in the Ryan Day era, you're going to be shocked.
I would be surprised that they wouldn't be able to outscore them. Because if they don't move on, then that's what that means. I'm not going to be shocked if Texas can move the ball and Texas can score, and it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I wouldn't be shocked by that. I would be shocked that Ohio State wouldn't be able to. After the way that they played the last 2 games, I would be mildly shocked that they weren't able to get the job done. After watching Texas almost lose to Arizona State, I would be shocked to see Texas beat Ohio State.
All right. Let me just go ahead and tell you what's going to happen tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll get into Notre Dame, Penn
Sure,
State.
yeah.
But you said something that caught me a little off guard. Andrew Makuba and Jade Barron are going to blanket Jeremiah Smith. If you want to beat me with Emeka Egbuka, more power to you. We're actually going to talk about him in a little bit. We got a a mailbag submission that I thought was really interesting. We'll talk about that in the next hour.
Okay.
Jeremiah Smith's not beating me. You want to run it down my throat? Have at it. You try. Clemson tried. Didn't work out in their favor. That's what Texas is going to do. You've had two teams, Tennessee and Oregon, that had absolutely no answer for Jeremiah Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Texas does.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has a great answer because I think he's one of the 5 best players in college football right now, which is funny because he's 18 years old. Texas does have an answer to that. So the question is, can Ryan Day's counterpunch beat you? Am I going to be shocked if that doesn't happen? Nope. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because I've watched this happen to Ryan Day so many times that I don't necessarily think Chip Kelly was your secret sauce, because I've watched it happen to him a bunch of times too.
But do you not believe Emeka Egbuka can be the game changer?
I don't think he is enough to win you this football game. You're going to need
your running game is probably enough.
They ran it down Oregon's throat. You're not doing that to Texas. Sorry,
no,
nobody's done it all year.
I mean, you're not going to do it to
they
that
average
level.
6 yards a carry against Oregon.
You're not going to do it.
I'm going to go out on a
level.
limb and say that's not going to happen against Texas.
But you
who
can,
has 2 monstrosities in the middle.
But with that running game, you could still control the clock against them.
I don't think.
I mean, Georgia did.
I don't. Maybe
Twice.
This is the better in me.
Yeah.
When everybody goes one direction, I'm really happy to go the other.
Right.
And I'm not telling you I think Texas is going to beat them. I'm a little shocked at the way you phrased that. I don't live in public narratives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised that the public is heavy on Ohio State because you've seen them be really impressive twice. I've seen Penn State be really impressive twice too. Doesn't mean I believe in them. I guess that's the point.
Yeah, but
I got 4 coaches left, and all of them have shown a proclivity to lose these games.
But that's that whole strength of schedule record again. Like, we've seen Penn State be really impressive twice, but it was against SMU and Boise State. Many of us didn't believe that either of those teams even belonged in the top 12.
A lot of people didn't believe in Tennessee or Oregon either.
True.
Oregon
you couldn't believe. I mean, you had to believe in Oregon as the number 1 team in the country.
No, you didn't. They had 1 win. It was over Ohio State. Their other win was over Penn State in a conference championship game that I'm not going to lie to you, it didn't really mean that much. And if memory serves me, it led to Penn State having a way easier path to this.
No doubt.
I saw somebody on Twitter post this. You do realize that Oregon could have laid down and played their water boys and probably would have been in better shape than Penn State.
Yes. Because they'd be playing today. Mm-hmm. There's no question about it.
Yeah, Oregon plays Boise State and SMU. I feel pretty sure we'd be talking about.
And I guess that's that's gonna be one of the one of the defenses of this college football playoff is that it can be just depends on the matchups, right? You can get a soft road. We talk about this in the NCAA tournament all the time. Who got the easiest bracket? Right? Who ended up with the lowest Ken Palm average in their bracket? With 12 teams, clearly we're capable of seeing that because it happened to Penn State.
I guess my point is that I'm not overly impressed. Ohio State, is the only team that had 2 really named schools. Everybody else got a but.
Yes.
Yeah, Texas beat Clemson, and then they got the Scataboos.
Mm-hmm.
And they really tried to let them beat them. Ohio State played 2 named schools, and I think it's really skewing people. I believe this is about as open as I've ever seen. I don't necessarily think there is a favorite. The favorite is it is Ohio State, but it's not by a lot to me.
Okay. All right. Again,
if you wanted parity, you got exactly what you wanted.
Absolutely.
If that's what you screamed at me for 5 years, I wish there was more parity. I want to see more teams. Okay. Well, Texas hasn't been anywhere near here other than last year. And they got beaten the semifinal by Washington. So you got them. Ohio State's here seemingly every year. They just never get past this spot. Penn State and Notre Dame have never really sniffed this, and they've got smoked any time that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're all playing each other. Congratulations. Welcome to parity. I can't wait to see what the TV number on this is.
If I had to wager, I would say it's going to be a pretty sizable number.
I don't think it's going to be as high as you think.
Really?
I don't think it's going to be as high as you think.
I feel like it's the break that people were looking for.
Well, you have no SEC team. And don't give me – I get Texas is actually in it.
Really
That's not
count.
an SEC team.
They don't really count.
Yeah, SEC fan over there was real quick to say what I was getting ready to say. They don't count because nobody in the SEC counts them.
Right. It actually hurts the whole – the SEC's the badass. It actually kind of hurts that narrative that the only one standing is the one that just joined you this year.
Yeah, it's funny to me. I also love all the people saying this proves the SEC is not as good as we – okay.
Yeah, let's –
Okay. All three teams that we were mad at getting left out, they were all SEC teams.
Mm-hmm.
So. But they lost in their bowl game. Yeah, and they played Bobo the
and
chimp.
none of them cared.
Yeah, one of them, I think, played me at quarterback. So. Sorry that didn't really it didn't really send me.
I mean, ESPN, I think, is going to have a good night tonight. Penn State, Notre Dame. Those brands still have power, I feel like. You don't think they do?
I don't.
You don't think they're...
I don't. I think
of
that
all of the brands in college football, they have to be in the top 15, at least.
Yeah, but what does that mean? But what does that mean?
That means there's intrigue. That means there's pageantry. That means there's history. That means there's interest in seeing something that you haven't seen since the 1970s.
I want to talk about this further in the next segment. We have a super chat, actually 2 super chats to get to.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
One job.
92.9 FM, 880 AM.
What is everything in here just not working? I don't have a clock.
Here we go. Money talk.
What is happening?
Here comes the money.
We'll start with Kelvin Joyner, who said, shout out to Notre Dame for making $14 million off a warm-up game.
Absolutely. They get to keep all of it.
They get it all.
Yeah.
That feels like we're not going to do that again.
That's why they did it. I remember going over that. That's why they were so adamant that we're not joining a conference, because if I get that CFP money, I get to keep it all. And $14 million goes a long way to making sure that I get back to the CFP next year.
Oh, yeah. Buys a lot of rosaries.
Mm-hmm.
Gold paint.
Lots of thoughts and prayers. The money buys you lots of thoughts and prayers.
You went full Joe Olstein there. I don't think those two. Whatever. We have another subject.
Catholic school, that's
I
religion.
do. That's why I
they
said
pray
rosaries.
a lot. That's kind of the
Here
point.
comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, but if you're buying thoughts and prayers, I think we all immediately go Joel Osteen, and those two things couldn't be more different if they tried. Red Sea, as a petty man, I hope Ohio State and Texas ends in a tie. Don't want either one of them to win. Well, it can end in a tie because we showed that at the Peach Bowl. We will keep doing this until one of you's tired of doing it.
Absolutely.
I think what he said is kind of where I'm headed. I feel like we're going into this. Who you backing? I asked this question on Facebook earlier. Who wins tonight?
Notre Dame.
I got a lot of scores. Not hey, I'm really cheering for the Irish. I mean, there were a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't I'm all in on I want to see blank win. It's the only game that I've done that for so far in the playoff that we didn't have that.
Well, I think there's a big reason for that, and it's because all of these schools, yes, they do have the history. Yes, they have all of the, there is a brand there, but they're very polarizing brands.
I have a theory on that, and we're going to talk about it in the next segment.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Everyone felt the impact of Hurricane Helene. At Crossville Studios, they're helping to rebuild what was lost. Right now, get deeply discounted flooring starting at just 79 cents per square foot. From porcelain and hardwood to vinyl, Crossville Studios' wide selection means something for every home and budget. And their friendly team is happy to assist you in the process while you restore your home. Visit Crossville Studios in Asheville at 15 Design Avenue in Fletcher to see how they can help.
As we recover as a community, it's important to help each other. Hummingbird Insurance, as always, is offering free assistance to help you navigate your health insurance options for this year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is January 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit healthcaresucks.com. That's healthcaresucks.com.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville on a college football playoff semifinal Thursday. Tonight, Penn State, Notre Dame. Tomorrow night, Texas, Ohio State. They all are big college football brands. These are blue bloods of college football. But they're not the most likable of programs. Ohio State is the most hated college in the country. There's no doubt. Ohio State fans are a big reason for that. Then there's Notre Dame. I mean, I can go back and forth on Notre Dame. I've always felt Notre Dame was overrated in the modern era. Everybody loves the movie Rudy, so I think we all have a little soft spot in our heart for Notre Dame somewhere. Touchdown Jesus is pretty cool. Texas, there's a long checkered history with Texas.
You have 3 Steve Buscemi's.
And then you got, oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good.
That's what this is.
He's a great actor, but he ain't look good.
You have 3 Steve Buscemi's and Ohio State.
I didn't even think about that. Because Penn State, we all know how that went. Yeah, there's something about them There's something about each one of these teams that you can't just fully go, yeah, I'm all in.
All right, let's play a game. The Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You had Oregon, Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the average viewer number. It was on New Year's Day.
Was it?
Would you like a clue?
Yes.
Last year, when it was Michigan, Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
it was 27.2 million.
Okay. So I'll say this one was 26.
21.
Really?
And it was the highest watched CFP quarterfinal game.
Okay.
By a pretty considerable amount.
Okay.
The double overtime game we were at was 17.3.
Mm-hmm. Not a shock.
No, that was New Year's Day. Not a ton of competition. This is a Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that this number is going to be as good as everybody thinks.
Yeah, but it's a Thursday night when there ain't nothing else going on.
I don't disagree. You're not competing with
Right.
the NFL.
The NFL's not on tonight. There's college basketball.
The thing
and
I
the
would
NBA.
The thing I would caution you on, the Sugar Bowl.
Yes.
Guess the number. Georgia, which is blue blood,
16.
and Notre Dame.
16? 18?
15-8.
No, 15-8.
And that one had to be postponed. It was at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
I get it. Penn State. Played Boise State.
Oh, 10.
You're too low.
Was it?
Yeah, you went too low on that.
Was it 12-2?
13-8.
13-8.
That was on New Year's Eve. And I get it that you had a lot going against you. It was on New Year's Eve. You were going up against Ryan Seacrest and Dick Clark's rocking New Year's Eve.
But it was a dog water matchup.
Wasn't great.
See, at least both of these games we look at and we expect something from. No one expected anything from Texas, Arizona State. Trust me, I know. I was there. I didn't see much of it because it was awful for 3 quarters.
It was not. It was great. You were just
terrible.
You're a bit of a Weenie Hut Jr., and you had to go see me.
It was awful. It was an awful game.
I can't believe you slept through that. I'm not going to lie. If your wife hadn't been sick, if that just been me and you and our wives weren't there, I would have rallied favor and I would have punched you as hard as I could have.
That's not nice. It's not nice at all.
Yeah, your wife saved you on that one.
Yeah.
And my wife. It was going, you can't just, no, I can.
I can. I could just punch him.
You look around. Who's going to stop me?
I mean, all of the games were bad.
Oh, we were at the best one.
I mean, Oregon, Ohio State, the Rose Bowl should have been the highest rated.
It was.
But it was over quick.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't take long for you to go, oh, okay, this is awful. I mean, how many people stuck around after Ohio State got up by 3 touchdowns? Nobody.
I did not see one competitive minute of that game. By the time we got back to where we were staying, it was already over.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, by the time we got back to the truck, it was pretty over. And I had already figured out Oregon has nothing for Jeremiah Smith.
Right. Notre Dame in Georgia in the middle of the afternoon. I mean, it was fun for me. I mean, it wasn't fun, but I was locked in. I was watching as a Georgia fan.
All right, here's the problem that I see. You said one word to describe each one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Texas, Arizona State.
Okay.
Georgia, Notre Dame.
Terrible.
Boring.
Boring. That's a good
Boring
one.
is the word that I could say on a lot of these.
Yeah.
You've got Notre Dame that's really good defensively. They run it pretty well, and Riley Leonard is spunky. You got Penn State that's really good defensively. They run it a lot, and Drew Aller throws one every now and then. This might be the most boring matchup I've ever seen in a CFP game.
You're not wrong.
Who's the best draft prospect in between both teams?
Carter?
Offensively. Not defensively. You got 2 first-rounders defensively. One of them's not going to play.
Nick Singleton?
There you go. Who will be lucky to go in the first 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe lucky to go in the first 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. We like points. We've shown this over time. I'm afraid when this all comes to roost, the first quarter will be fine. And so when you start looking at the tabs, the first quarter will be fine. The second and third are complete death, and then it kind of revives in the fourth when it's close. Those are the worst kind of games for advertisers.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what spurs change? Because we're all worried about the way it's seeded and what we've done so far. What you've gotten so far is not changing squat. Because when you look at the tabs, they're all fine. What I just said is what changes things. Because then your inventory gets cut in half. Because then Dr. Pepper and Allstate and Capital One, I don't want commercials in the second and third quarter. That's when the NCAA goes, uh-oh, this is affecting our wallet. Now we got to change something. As long as you're watching, and it doesn't matter if you're even in the room, because we don't have a way to we have no way to judge that.
Right.
As long as your television is still showing this game, and when those tabs come back, you were there the whole time, nothing's changing. Because I don't want to go through this fight for no real reason. Oh, you're not happy with the product. Well, you still watched it. It's like a bad sitcom. Well, you kept tuning in on Thursday, so guess what? We kept paying it because the advertisers kept paying it, and everything just stayed copacetic.
Right. But do you think that this game is going to – will this eclipse the Rose Bowl?
No.
This semifinal game will not get 21 million.
I'll say no.
Okay.
I'll say no. And as a matter of fact, I'll go one step further than that. I don't see how it beats it. Even going against nothing, I don't see how it beats it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's back to work. There's nobody's off tomorrow except me. I'm not off. I was
going to say, are you off? Or?
No, I just get to do the show in my underoos, which is awesome.
Yeah. 7:30 start. It's not too aggressive, right? We're not doing the 8:30 start.
No, but it's got to keep your eyes. And that's the thing, is it's got to keep your eyes. And I'm not sure that this does. I'm not sure that anybody cares enough. Tomorrow, completely different story.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night, everybody's off or a lot of people are off for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Ohio State, Texas does a 24-3. I'll say tonight does an 18-6.
That's respectable.
That's respectable until you start looking at the numbers from last year and go, that's a 9 million viewer drop. Now, it's not apples to apples because they're on completely different days.
Yeah.
I don't see the offensive firepower that's going to keep eyes. And this is really at no fault of the committee. We got so angry that they put in SMU. Well, you had to. Then it played out on the field, and it just so happened that you gave me 4 teams that outside of one guy are insanely boring. Texas is not the most fun team to watch.
No.
Quinn Ewers is fun because he absolutely gives zero excrements about how many times he gets intercepted in the game.
I mean, if it's working, if you get pressure on him, and your defensive secondary can hold up and make some plays, it's going to be just like it was at the Benz Dome.
Oh yeah, Daniel Vales pointed out we did forget an offensive guy, Tyler Warren. He's the number one.
Tyler. Oh yeah, Tyler Warren.
But even with him, he's us. We're the kind of people that love Tyler Warren. I got news for you.
A tight end ain't selling this.
Your girlfriend, try to sell her on a game with a 6'6", 260-pound guy. Now, I will say this, don't let him take his helmet off. Because if he does, you might not have a girlfriend anymore.
You're cooked.
Yeah, and my wife pointed him out. I was like, oh, he looks like a young version of me. Okay, I'm fine with that. It's when it's somebody that looks completely different from me. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? I like how that was said.
It's only why she likes him, because he reminds her of you.
Yeah, at least that's what she tells me, and I'm good. It's fine. I can lie to myself. That's fine.
It may not be the sexiest football that
It's
you've
just
ever
not.
seen. Penn State, Notre Dame, does any of that sound sexy high scoring to you? No. Every football fan knows what they're getting when they tune into Penn State and Notre Dame. Now, what you're hoping is that maybe you get some defensive lapses here. Get a defensive lapse or two, and Riley Leonard makes some plays. Drew Aller gets to make a play or two. Nick Singleton breaks a couple of big runs. And you end up with a game that's in the 20s. Maybe reaching to the 30s. I doubt it. My predicted score for this was 19-17. Because I don't really see that coming. It's possible. Can they score enough to keep eyeballs? I think the purists, we got you regardless.
Yeah, that's the thing, though.
If we're trying to,
you and
we're
I are
not
watching
breaking
this
records
game,
with this
you
game.
could tell me this was SMU Boise State, and guess what? You and I would both be there. You can say you wouldn't be. I got 5 years of history that says you would be. You duty on it.
I do have the past 2 weeks of history, though, that tell me
you watched them.
I don't know that I'd care.
You watched them, though, didn't you?
Some.
You were still there. You're still
Yeah,
there.
I wouldn't have if they'd have been good games. That's the thing, is none of this has lived up to the hype. And I think that's what the average fan is ticked off about. I don't know. There are so many people, or there's so many places that you can put the blame for how this has gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the season.
That it's not hard. But what I'm saying is it's not hard for every fan to have something to say about how this went down, because none of it has lived up to the hype.
I guess my question would be, how is it going to live up to the hype? I think the NCAA was you were kind of in a catch-22 anyway, because there's not a lot of offensive firepower in college football right now. In terms of stars, your star ability is hurting brutally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can argue the two biggest stars in college football play for a team that didn't sniff this thing. Colorado,
yeah.
So what exactly would have sent you? What combination of four teams would have sent you? If Gunnar Stockton had run for $120 against Notre Dame and it was Georgia Penn State, would that have made you more interested? You notwithstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Because me, nope, same thing.
Yeah.
All it is, one of you's got a much more fun to look at helmet. That's it.
I just don't feel like there is a part of me that doesn't feel like this game. It's slowly waning. I feel like kind of like we're in a position like baseball. Not that you're not this bad, but what I'm saying is it's so regional that if it's not in your region, how big's your interest?
Well,
and unless you have
this is proven to me undeniable.
Unless you have that overall villain that everybody can root against, which I don't think we all have that. Do we?
Yeah, we do. If you're not an Ohio State fan, Ohio State's the villain here. That's the other part of tonight. There's no hero, there's no villain. Because if you hate Notre Dame, you probably hate Penn State.
Two just spunky teams.
Yeah, I mean, geographically, they're from a very close.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe this is all just obviously this is all just conjecture.
You need somebody to hate, but you need somebody to love too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we have somebody to hate, just not really somebody to love.
Okay.
We got a couple super chats before we go out for the commercial break.
Okay.
Comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Matthew Hoffman said, as a Pennsylvania native, I'd like to see Penn State win and finally wash away the stain from Joe Paterno. I thought that myself.
Mm-hmm.
I also could conversely say I'd like to see Notre Dame win because I would like Marcus Freeman to get the due that he deserves. Look, we were in Georgia when they announced he was Coach of the Year. I actually heard booing. of which I really wanted to look around and go, did you honest to God think they were giving this to Kenny Satterfield? Because if you did, you're smoking drugs.
No, I think that was more of just a Notre Dame reaction.
So, I mean, I see that both ways, but I don't really have a vested interest because I could go with that too. Hey, Penn State's here. I know a bunch of Penn State fans. You deserve this. Yeah. You're a good fan base that's gotten kicked in the teeth for 35 years.
Yep.
And one more.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
For our buddy Noah, who said, "Sup, fellas, I placed Ohio State minus the 3.5 and Penn State money line at plus 232. If I were betting this, and I can't tell you whether I am or I'm not yet, that's probably the way I would have gone." By the way, the fact that Ohio State's only a 3.5-point favorite, that should tell you a lot. That should tell you a lot of where Vegas is at. After you watch them just beat the bejeebers out of two teams.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold now, setting the grounds for snow. Winter storm watch for now. Most likely that will get upgraded. Most of our snow coming tomorrow night. Clear, cold morning, sunshine as we get into the second part of Thursday, right round freezing with a gusty breeze. Thickening clouds tonight, down to the middle teens. Snow developing sometime mid to late morning tomorrow, 32. That snow will continue into tomorrow night. Might get some mixing in spots, but it's going to be mainly snow and maybe 3 to 5 inches. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Is credit card debt ruining your life? Did you know you have a right to settle that debt for much less than you owe? DebtBlue has helped people just like you resolve millions of dollars of high-interest credit card debt. They can help with payment relief, the burden of rising inflation, and have a large portion of your debt wiped clean. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, a free 10-minute phone call could save you thousands. Discover how to reduce or completely resolve your credit card debt. In fact, we're so sure that we can reduce your debt that we offer the DebtBlue Success Guarantee. We don't get paid unless your debt gets reduced or resolved, so there's absolutely no risk to call. For your free debt resolution plan, call 800-375-1158. That's 800-375-1158. The call is free. The consultation is free. The more you owe, the more you can save. Call now. 800-375-1158. 800-375-1158.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We are back in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. And I'm going to get your story first because my...
It was mine.
Go. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, so my story...
I'm telling you, there's like a curse on this studio right now.
There's something.
It wasn't expecting me to be here today, and it is angry.
There's some gremlin in the studio or something. We got monitors not working and all kinds of stuff. Two Detroit Lions fans got treated to quite the weekend. The team set up these two Lions fans with all access, everything for the weekend. Brought these guys, flew them in, let them go out to, set them up with a wonderful dinner, set them up with sideline passes, all the things. And I just wanted to shout out the fact that they did that and they tracked these two guys down because it was one of the weirdest ways that two fans have ever met each other. Wally Schmidt is the name of one fan. And he and his dad went to a game at Soldier Field in Chicago, December 22nd. Lions were playing the Bears, and they go to the game. Unfortunately, while they were at the game, Wally's father has a heart attack at the game. Fellow Lions fan Ben Roth, though, is an off-duty paramedic, and he goes in and starts doing CPR, life-saving techniques to try to save Mr. Schmidt. Now, he was not successful in that. He was successful enough to keep him alive while he was at the stadium. Sadly enough, about 4 or 5 hours after he was taken to the hospital, Wally's dad died, Mr. Schmidt. Now, the story of the reunification of these two is just real. I guess it just kind of hits home for me after the story of Kirby Smart and his dad. If you don't know that story, Kirby Smart's dad was at the Sugar Bowl and fell. He broke his hip, had to go into surgery. He never came out of surgery. I cannot imagine.
It's one of those terrible stories I've ever heard.
Awful, awful story. But this is another one of those stories that this could have been a moment that caused a whole lot of pain, and it's going to for a long time. But the Detroit Lions stepping up and bringing these two fans together, giving them an experience that they'll never forget, and actually giving them the connection to celebrate each other as people it's just a phenomenal story. The full story, you can find it at the Detroit Free Press. Great article, and hats off to the Lions, a class organization, and guess what? Future Super Bowl champions.
Has anything ever lost the zeal off that rose faster than the New Heights podcast?
The New Heights? Oh, that's the Kelsey podcast?
Because over the course of the last year, I've grown to really love Jason Kelsey and grown to get really tired of Mr. Taylor Swift. So he was questioned on this week's episode about fans thinking that they were ducking the Cincinnati Bengals since they didn't play anybody against Denver and let Denver beat them 38-0.
Oh, yeah.
Well, his response was rather predictable. He said, I ain't scared of falafeling nobody. I wanted them to be in the playoffs. I want to slay every dragon one by one like Mortal Kombat. I don't even want this to be we play the lowest seed. Just give me the best teams. AFC, NFC, give them all to me, Mortal Kombat style. I'll go through every one of them. Just giving it my best falafeling effort. I ain't scared of a single soul, man.
Nice.
And he said all that with his little bouffant haircut that his girlfriend likes. Travis, with your goofy mustache, I speak for all of us and go, dude, you were the most likable guy in the NFL, and somehow within a year became the most unlikable.
Yeah, I guess they hate you when you climb to the top. Has he changed any? I mean, has he become anything different other than now he's Taylor Swift's boyfriend and everybody talks about him and he's always on TV and now I don't care.
That could be it, because I'll be honest with you, I've seen more of that podcast since that happened than I ever saw of it before. And I absolutely love Jason. Jason strikes me as the kind of guy that, you know, and Travis probably is too. It's just I hear things like this and go, dude, shut up. Like, just shut up.
I mean, I like what was said there. I like the fact that he's out there saying, I don't care who we play. I'm glad he didn't.
I just wish he'd be honest. I really do. I wish you'd be honest.
About what?
Because that whole story that's all crap. Because here's what if you want to be, not that he cares, he's printing money, it's all fine. You want to be honest there. Here would be my response. The hell do you think? Would I rather play Joe Burrow or Bo Nix? I don't think that's hard to figure out.
Right.
If we had needed to win that game, would we have beaten the smoke off Denver? Absolutely.
No doubt.
But we didn't need to win it.
It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous premise because we were 15-1. Of course we didn't. Cincinnati had nothing to do with it. See, when you're at the top of the mountain, I don't have to worry about them. They're at the back of the pack. It had nothing to do with the decision that was made.
Oh, I can't say it had nothing to do with the decision.
Really?
I guarantee, look.
15-1, I got nothing to play for. Why the hell would I play? Cincinnati doesn't even come into the picture.
Of course not.
Right.
No, I mean, okay, you said that in a way that was, I guess, a little misleading.
I mean, I didn't have to worry about them. I was good.
Exactly. That part's true.
Right.
But I guarantee you all of them sat around, and Andy Reid sitting around in the coaches' meeting and going, well, don't you love when trash takes itself out?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be winning this week, boys. We're going to play as little as humanly possible, not getting anybody hurt. And the little cherry on top of that Sunday is that we keep Macaulay Culkin out of the playoffs, because I'm good. I don't want to do that. If I can avoid that, I will.
Yeah. I mean, had things been a little bit different, had the records not been what they were, there's a moment where, yes, that could come into the factor, but that was not a factor.
I wish I had something to give Ben Whitley, because I think he has the comment of the week.
What does he say?
If Travis would have been walking through a crowd and someone said something about Jason, Travis would have vaccinated them, not smashed their phone. That's why people like Jason more than Travis. Ben, buddy, you win. That's comment of the week. That's comment of the week. No doubt.
He'll never live that down.
No.
He'll never live that ad campaign down.
And that's something that you got to know as people that are, I mean, look, we're two people that are endorsed by companies too. We believe in every single one of them, and we're very picky about who endorses them.
Yes.
You got to know sometimes when you sign a check, well, the old soul goes with that one, and I'm never going to live this down.
Yep.
I mean, I got news for you. If I decided to do a Preparation H commercial, I got news for you. I'm going to get some jokes. And I knew it well before I signed that check.
Yeah. I get it. You know, it's not like he hasn't done things that haven't put him in the crosshairs, right?
Although
he opens his mouth sometimes when he shouldn't about things that he shouldn't. That was one of the most controversial moves. I remember the day we found out about that. The day we first saw that he was going to be doing Pfizer ads, I remember the discussion we had. Well, we're going to see how popular he is now.
Yeah. Because
that's rough.
Yeah, with 19-year-old girls, Travis Kelce's the most popular NFL player in the world.
Mm-hmm.
With the large percentage of football fans, predominantly dudes that listen to our show, I'm going to say he doesn't rate so high.
He's not. He doesn't rate so high.
And that's fine. Oh, and by the way, this would be a great time for me to say, Preparation H, I am a New England Patriot receiver. I'm a big old slot, and I do like money. And I've never used your product, but I would for the right amount of money on that check.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
This is J.W. Whitley with Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I'm so excited to introduce you to this month's Parks Community Hero, Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels, with the help of numerous volunteers, delivers nutritious meals and friendly conversation to homebound seniors. Throughout their meal delivery program, you can help seniors keep their independence. To get involved, visit mowabc.com. Thank you to Meals on Wheels and congratulations, our Parks Community Hero. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
It's Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Save up to 60% on a wide selection of quality mattresses at every price. Plus, score a free adjustable base with a qualifying purchase. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm today.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
We're getting our praise on every Sunday morning from 6 to 10 a.m. The best artists in gospel music are right here on Throwbacks 101.1. Presented by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold now, setting the grounds for snow. Winter storm watch for now. Most likely that will get upgraded. Most of our snow coming tomorrow night. Clear, cold morning, sunshine as we get into the second part of Thursday, right round freezing with a gusty breeze. Thickening clouds tonight, down to the middle teens. Snow developing sometime mid to late morning tomorrow, 32. That snow will continue into tomorrow night. Might get some mixing in spots, but it's going to be mainly snow and maybe 3 to 5 inches. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
In 2024, what we paid
Paying more for things
was a lot.
that will change.
In 2025, let's pay
What they're supposed to be paying.
attention.
A lot of things can happen.
A busy news year on 570 WWNC.
It's just not normal, the pain caused from chronic joint pain day after day. But some of you have dealt with that pain for so long, it becomes your new normal. Short-term fixes are not working. Get moving again in 2025 with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine joint preservation. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. Tens of thousands of people with pain have discovered these cellular treatments and are living life again without that constant pain in their joints. Want to learn more about how you can refresh your joints to get lasting relief with these amazing treatments? Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Deal with joint pain now so you can make the most of the new year. Call QC Kinetics in Asheville and Greenville. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and you can see us live in the Ingalls studio on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat.
I have a question.
Yes.
People that go to Burger King,
yeah.
Why do you order French fries?
You know, sometimes you don't feel like an onion ring.
But then why did you go to Burger King?
For the Whopper.
Whopper's delicious.
Yeah.
And you pair it with an onion ring. Tank and I just ordered lunch, and he ordered French fries, and I'm still dumbfounded at why did you get that wrong? I asked you a simple question. You got it incorrect.
You got it incorrect. So it's always onion rings at Burger King?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, that is a fine choice.
It's like people that go to McDonald's and get apple slices.
Their French fries are not as bad as they used to be. So
I'm good.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. And I know some people like them. Some people are not named me.
Mm-hmm.
And you give me a perfectly acceptable option on the other side. We've already got people in the comments saying Burger King's fries are good. Are they? Because I don't think they are.
No, they're good. They're good. They're, like I said, they're better than they used to be. I used to not like them because, they are the fatter shoestring French fry.
Which usually I'm fine with.
But they used to have something in them. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the oil that they used to cook them in that just left like this film on the inside of your mouth. And it didn't have a good mouth feel.
Matthew Hoffman said Burger King has the best French fries. And have you never been to a McDonald's?
I don't think he has.
You get a McDonald's French fry that's hot out of the old Fry Daddy. Woo! That's a treat that's hard to beat, boys.
Matthew Hoffman must live in a town where there are only Burger King.
No, he lived here, so I know he's had access.
You think?
I don't.
I can't go down that path.
To me, getting the French fry at Burger King is like getting apple slices at McDonald's. Just why did you do that? If you're doing it for a 4-year-old, I get it. My wife will go to McDonald's and get apple slices. Really?
She's trying to, choose the healthier option. Right. I'll take the double quarter pounder with cheese with apple slices and a Diet Coke. Indeed. For dessert, I'll have the parfait because it's yogurt. Yeah. Right. It's gonna keep me regular.
One of the funniest things I ever saw in my time on the road. I was at a Crystal because I stopped in a city that apparently they didn't know what good fast food was, so they had a Crystal. It was the only thing I could find. What were those things called? Like it was like a combo bag you could get that had like 12 burgers in it.
The sack?
Sack.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
This dude ordered 4 of those with 2 Diet Cokes.
Mm-hmm.
I almost got into a fist fight of, I think you go full sugar, bro.
Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't like the taste.
Right? Maybe he doesn't.
Maybe he was once a reformed fat guy like me, and see, like I prefer the
zero sugar
unleaded, right? The unleaded sodas. I like the zero sugars. I like the diets. The regulars are too sweet for me, but I can pack away some hamburgers. So I mean, I could see how you go down that path. It's when you use that as the excuse. Right.
I'm trying to watch
why did you order the Diet Coke? I mean, just I don't know, who needs those extra calories? Well, yeah, Mr. 70,000.
Yeah. Well, your food order is a zip code.
Right.
And it's not like it's not a lineage state like Massachusetts. We're talking like Arizona, bruh. That's a 89076.
Mm-hmm. Arby's curly fries are at the top. The Chick-fil-A waffle fry is up there as well. McDonald's is the key French fry. It is the standard that everyone else should aspire to. A lot of love for Bojangles in the YouTube chat.
I swear to God we didn't plan on that.
And hats off, guys, because Bojangles is great. Those like steak fries with the Cajun dust.
I do like the steak frite. I do wish Bojangles.
Easy there.
Steak fry in French.
I get it, fancy pants. But you calm down.
Let's say
we call them freedom fries around here.
I didn't say anything wrong there.
No, you didn't.
I do wish Bojangles would sell that dust so I could put it on all the mediocre fries.
Yes,
because that dust on a mediocre fry still pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to have some of it to put on a Chick-fil-A waffle fry. Ooh, I'm gonna have to try that one day.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is doing something different with their grease now.
Are they?
Yeah, they're I mean, they haven't started yet, but it's coming. Apparently, they want people to be like
healthier. Stop it.
Stop it.
It's not why we're here.
And by the way, the correct answer, the Arby's fry, the curly fry.
Yes, the curly fry.
But see, I don't want a curly fry every day. The dream.
I do.
The dream. McDonald's, full large French fry, 3 accidental curlies from Arby's. And a Burger King onion ring at the bottom. That's the dream. That's the dream.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
That is a super chat from Red Sea. He says, Tank ordered fries from anywhere that's not McDonald's. Blasphemy. Well, what do you order at the other places?
McDonald's.
I mean, okay, so
I'm
Burger King.
I'm pretty sure that's how one of my children survived.
Right.
Hey, what do you want for dinner? McDonald's. McDonald's burned down. I'll go eat the ashes. I don't care.
Burger King has the onion ring, so there's an option there. What else you got? Hardee's doesn't give you options anymore because they got rid of their curly fries.
Matthew Altman said McDonald's is overrated. You take that back.
Yeah,
I don't talk about your friends that way.
Stop that. What do they say about your favorite restaurant? I bet it's not I'm loving it.
There is, I guarantee. Look,
it's like I'm kind of liking it.
I'm a simple man. And I've always been scared of crimes, so there's no chance of me ever like assaulting somebody.
Yeah.
Over, I need to get a fix of cocaine.
Adam Black says that
there is a possibility of me getting into a full bum fight in the parking lot of a McDonald's over a double quarter pounder.
Adam Black goes mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A. I can't do it. I can't.
Oh, it's good.
Can't do it.
It's good.
No. Fast food mac and cheese is gross. All of it. There's not a single place. There's not
Bojangles. You're wrong. Just
awful.
Straight up. You're
quit.
Stop it. Stop saying. Stop saying stupid.
I'd rather
things.
have KFC mashed potatoes without gravy.
Also awesome.
Ugh.
Also awesome. You're broke. Why are you broken?
That's like eating thick, wet snow. Just don't really taste like nothing. Just bleh in your mouth.
Mashed potatoes are a purveyance for gravy when you're eating them with fried chicken. That's it. They serve no other role.
I just wish there was a potato in it.
How are you so bad being fat when you were so fat?
I'm
like at 400 pounds, you hit 4 meals. You're not allowed to critique squat else because you've eaten no less than 4 sheets of cardboard in your life.
That's completely opposite of the truth. You get to 400 pounds, you know everything about everything. I have analyzed the grease in every restaurant from here to Poughkeepsie.
Tank's the only man I've ever seen eat a cheeseburger where he only got 2/3 of the wrapper off.
I've only done that like a dozen and a half times in my life.
How did we do 8 minutes on?
I don't know. You started.
We had so many things to talk about here, and we went off on a tater tangent.
Now, well, I mean, look, money talks, right? And when the super chats are flowing,
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Adam Black first. He says clearly Tank lost his taste buds when he lost weight.
Tank never had to. All right, so I love Adam Black, the official reverend of the Sportsocracy. Here's
Reverend.
what he didn't know, Reverend. Here's what he didn't know. Tank never had taste buds. That's how he got so fat, is that he would just shove things in his mouth that weren't food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, what was it, liver mush? Yeah, he loves it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not food.
Good
That's
stuff.
the after part of animal that you're supposed to eat. He loves it.
I do.
Scrapple? He's a Scrapple millionaire. You'd eat it.
Not a fan.
You'd eat it.
Not a fan of the Scrapple.
Tank, I've seen you eat enough gas station hot dogs to kill at least 3 people.
Oh, they're awesome. You stop.
That's how he got so big. He went, hey, what do you got there? An old tennis shoe. I'll eat it. Let's go.
With enough condiments, you can make anything taste good. That's what I'm going to tell myself when I go to prison. Red Sea with another super chat.
Here we go. Money talk.
It took you a second.
My brain was buffering for the first 5 seconds after you said that.
Red Sea with the super chat says, I would go to Wendy's for the chicken nuggets and then drive to McDonald's for a large fry and soda. Yeah, I've done stuff like that before.
I've seen me do it.
I've gone to
But you got to get the Frosty in that.
I've gone to McDonald's and gotten the double quarter pounder, and then I was just in the mood for seasoned fries that day, so I went over to Checkers and got their fries. Checkers fries go really well with the Burger King burger with the Whopper because the fries used to taste like the grease. These today are pretty good.
There's a fast food showdown coming on our social medias.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's coming soon.
Yeah.
I just tell you.
Everybody's got an opinion because we're all, we all eat fast food because we're worthless, unhealthy humans.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, look, if you want to know if I'll like you, if you're one of those people that goes, I don't eat bad food, but the chemicals in my body, Travis Kelce. Go on now, get.
I believe you have a circle of friends that you would rather hang out with down at the brewery.
I'll have the falafel. Yeah, well, how about you go falafel yourself?
Isn't there an art gallery opening you're supposed to be at right now?
Yeah, listen here, wine and cheese. How about you go wine somewhere else and cheese off? How about that? I think we just did more super chats on fast food than we've done on anything football related to month.
And it doesn't stop.
It's not our fault. This is your day.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It is usually a Threadbare Thursday, so you guys run the show. Sir Jimothy with the super chat says, Jeremy eats Hungry Man.
Damn right I did.
Back
in my single days, there was only one aisle at Ingles grocery stores. Low prices, love the savings, and it was the frozen one.
Says he's got the taste palate of a 3-year-old who likes KFC mashed potatoes, especially without the bad gravy. Now, Jimothy, that's where you've gone too far. KFC gravy can be consumed by the gallon.
For sure.
The gravy's not the problem. It's whatever that is they call potatoes.
I don't care. I don't care if it's corrugated cardboard that they ran through a tater masher. It's fine. It's fine. It serves its purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It serves its purpose. That's where Tank loses sight of all things fast food. This is why my palate is so much better than his. Well, I mean, that and the fact that his taste buds are dead. Because he'll eat things that I'm not even sure cook sometimes. He looked at me at one point and said, I think I'd eat a possum. And I went,
100%.
I don't doubt that you would.
Absolutely.
Now, me, on the other hand, I'm good. There are 3 kinds of meat in this world. One of them moos.
Okay.
One of them oinks.
Okay. Which one's he going to leave out?
Which one's he? I don't know what that is.
Are you taking the chicken?
Oh, no, it's all the same. Turkey and chicken are actually the same animal. One of them's just got a wild
poultry.
side.
It all encompasses into poultry.
Yeah.
You left out fish, though. So
good.
You don't like fish?
No,
okay.
I don't
All
like
right.
fish.
Good. Yeah.
All fish is sea varmint, and I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
You take that catfish especially.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
All right, let them keep rolling in
We have
on the
descended into
YouTube
full-on
channel.
madness,
Of course
and
it
we
is.
have no control.
Look, we've let the Sportsocracy, the House of Reprehensibles, speak. And Red Sea says, Sportsocracy no longer. Now it's the Foodocracy. Yes, we do Foodocracy segments from time to time here. The off-season is usually when we do them. It's not usually, on a championship game day. But,
College football playoff, do you see what happens? You give us Notre Dame and Penn State, which is the Burger King French fry and the Crystal Burger of college football games, and we do 14 minutes on fast food French fried potatoes.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
All right, back to Jimothy because he may have some news for all of us here. Foothill Meats in Black Mountain. I've never heard of this, but apparently they have fries in beef tallow.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Okay.
What is the
Foothill Meats?
Rynot does that too.
Mm-hmm.
Holy, I would literally open palm backside of the Pin Pan slap Tank Spencer on the steps of the courthouse in front of Reverend Adam Black.
Nice.
Just for some of those fries. They're that good.
All right. So you may want to check that out. We got one more and then we got a break.
Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
From Matthew Hoffman, he says, hey, I went to jail for a hungry man. Just saying.
I feel like the story I need.
That is a story. Like, what would you do for a Klondike bar kind of story?
I'm trying to think if I have a story that's equally that good. I got hit in the head with a beer bottle one time because I told the guy his girlfriend wasn't nearly as attractive as he thought she was. Or she thought she was. I still have a scar from that.
I just hope in jail is not where you found the hungry man.
But no.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We'll take a break. We'll eat some food, and then maybe we won't talk about food when we come back.
Bingo.
As we recover as a community, it's important to help each other. Hummingbird Insurance, as always, is offering free assistance to help you navigate your health insurance options for this year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is January 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit healthcaresucks.com. That's healthcaresucks.com.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4 VICTIMS.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
A new year.
And I'm back in the White House.
A secure border.
Drone threats.
Shut down the government.
Is always a news year.
Western North Carolina strong.
New journeys.
A new chapter.
Something new. Each few days.
In the new year.
On News Radio 570 WWNC.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingalls studio. Low prices. Love the savings.
Missed the first segment of this hour. It was pure chaos.
Yes.
It was just fat guy pandalirium.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You didn't miss much other than, well, us deciding that, yes, McDonald's does have the best fries in the fast food industry. Anyhow, we have tonight Penn State and Notre Dame. Tomorrow night, Texas and Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl.
The Cotton Bowl.
Between all of these teams, who needs it more? Because I don't feel like there's a one above all others that needs it more. Everybody's in a perfect position right now where it's within your grasp. The thing that you've been chasing for so many years is right there. Ohio State, when did they last win?
2015?
Been a minute. Texas.
2007?
See how much harder it gets? Notre Dame. Precisely. Precisely. Like and then, of course, Penn State hadn't been a national champion since the 80s. So everybody has everything to gain here, clearly.
Notre Dame was 88. Penn State was 86.
Okay.
They were on opposite sides of my birth.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's why I'm looking at whoever wins tonight. That's who I'm rooting for. I've seen the others win a national title. If you're going to give me the Melba Toast Bowl between the Penn State and Nittany Lions and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, I might as well just let them take it down.
The Melba Toast Bowl. Hopefully it won't be that. Hopefully it'll have more excitement than that. But who are you more excited for? Are you more excited for James Franklin, who's been at this stage before, time and time again, has been the guy who – can he win the big one? He hasn't yet.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You're going to get a 1-2-3 shut mouth on somebody. It's either going to be Notre Dame, James Franklin, Ryan Day, or Steve Sarkisian. Because one of those four is getting a national title. There's no way around it.
True.
By the way, we have an update on tonight's game, and this feels icky to say. Drew Rosenhaus tells the Pat McAfee show that Abdul Carter will be a legit game-time decision tonight.
Woof.
That feels gross.
Why does that feel gross?
That Drew Rosenhaus is updating us on a college football player.
Well, I mean, they have agents now.
I'm aware of that. It's kind of like
when I have spokespeople, that's one of the things about all of this that would irritate me if I was a school, is that wait a minute, now I have agents to put up with? Right now I had, at least in like the PR realm, now the players have their own people that are out here talking for me. But honestly, I like having I like having more information.
I don't know. I look at the agents of college football players a lot like you look at your mom's underwear drawer. I know it's there, but I would do everything in my power not to see it. I know it's there. I got it. I keep it over there. I mean, do you not feel like that's gross?
Well, I mean, it's just different. It's not necessarily gross. It's just different. Because
Drew Rosenhaus advising a college athlete will always be gross to me.
Okay. And you're well within your
as
rights
somebody
to
that's
feel
been
that
in the
way.
same room with that guy. First of all, if I needed representation like that, I'm not calling anybody else.
Nope.
I also would probably wash my hands as soon as he shook them. Oh, it got it on me. It won't come off. It's like sweet and sour sauce from McDonald's. It's just stuck on my hands now.
You just have to come to the realization that these guys have guys now, right? I've got a guy for that. Now, the fact that he's to me, it's the fact that he's 21 years old and has a guy. To me, that's what everybody's upset about. Like, oh, wait a minute. He's got people? I'm twice his age, and I don't have people.
Well, I mean, he's going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. You're not.
No doubt. I just think I've always thought it's funny that people get so upset by these things. And you being like, oh, that's gross. Well, I mean, he's got to have representation.
No, I get
it.
We
live in a world now where he can't not have representation.
No, and
I look
get it.
I look at dudes that don't have representation and think they're idiots.
Look, one of the biggest agents of college football players in the country lives no more than an hour from where we're sitting right now. We know him pretty well. Great guy. I guess I see that and go, I'm okay with him. I don't like Drew Rosenhaus being here.
Right.
You're like for grown-ups.
And there it is.
It's like when you see your nephew drinking a beer the first time. Okay, it's legal, but you're still like, no, you're not old enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a big part of to me, that's a big part of I don't want to see these players be paid. Why? Just because you don't want to see them have more money than you do and they're 18 years old?
Well, now, not all of us that said that. I didn't care that they got paid.
I'm not saying that's all people.
What happened is exactly what I tried to warn you of. And now here we are.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm curious of, though, and I will say, and this kind of fades into the games that are happening tonight and tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see where this goes 5 years from now. Because I have a belief. I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of where this is going to go. I'm just not sure it's a negative. So you look around college football right now, and how many guys – I'm working on the new website and all the things for what we announced yesterday. And I'm realizing how many of these guys have bounced between 2, 3, 4 schools. I do think that day is drawing nigh.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some form of limitation put on that.
Yes. Contracts. We're getting there.
It'll
happen.
There's no traction to that right now. Because you start getting into arbitration, and there's a lot to that. I agree that's the solution.
Yes.
We're just not trending in that direction right now. I think you're going to get some blanket NCAA, no, we're not doing this. Because right now, an 18-year-old kid can legitimately completely game the system. All right, if you're a 4-star recruit, go somewhere like Boise State's not a terrible example, where you get snaps early.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to put up pretty legitimate numbers early,
mm-hmm.
and then just transfer to one of the big boys.
Yes.
You're gaming the system.
How?
They're not going to let you do that forever.
How's that game in the system?
Well, because we're allowing you to bounce with absolutely no kind of punishment. Well, you're screwing over Boise State completely because they think they've got the greatest find ever. And then There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I heard somebody talking about Ashton Genty and how he's this great kid because he chose to stay at Boise State. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Ashton Genty currently makes more than the rest of the Boise State roster put together. So maybe lose me on that great kid thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's not. Just don't use that as the example. They had to cobble together NIL money to keep him around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it's all working.
Yes.
I believe your next step is that the smaller schools are about to get squished even further.
Could be. But there again, I think that's a reason we've got a lot of this parity, is that players are getting paid. And a guy who's more talented is not going to sit at one school just because he's getting paid. He'll jump and make money and go play somewhere else.
So you think this actually is parity? I was using that ironically.
Oh, absolutely. How is it not? You have more contenders than you ever had before. How is that not parity? I don't have three teams that are guaranteed to win a national championship anymore.
You haven't had three teams that were guaranteed to win a national title in a long time. All right, I got the list of national champions in front of me. In the last, how long you want to go? In the last 5 years, we've had 4 different teams win a national title. If you go 6, we've had 5. You go back further than that, it gets to you get to 7 and 8 within a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, every team playing right now has been within just this close.
Mm-hmm.
This close. 3 of the 4 have played semifinals.
Wait. Okay, maybe we're under different understandings of the kind of parity we're looking for. Are you looking for parity that's going to bring Missouri into the fold? Because we don't have that kind of parity.
No, I'm just saying what you've got right now is no different than what you've had in the past. You just had Georgia, Oregon. Okay, you had Arizona State and Boise State because you shoehorned them in here. That's not parity. That's you. That's somebody's mom being friends with your mom, and your mom makes you play with the loser kid from down the street. That's not parity. Just because mom made me play with you doesn't mean we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
You still got the same teams. I mean, Penn State, this ain't new. They finished 5th 3 of the last 5 years. That's not parity. They're just here. Notre Dame's already played in the playoff. Ohio State's been in it practically every year. They may have been in it every year, save one.
No, they haven't been in it every year.
They've been in it a lot.
Sure they have.
I believe they've been in it more than anybody else.
Probably so.
I think they've been in 10 of them, and Alabama's been in 9 was the what I saw the other day.
Okay.
That's not parity. Texas was here last year. Yeah, you try to have parity. Parity ain't here. We've always had 8 legit contenders. None of that changed. Nick Saban went away. There's your change.
Mm-hmm.
Now Alabama's not the big bad wolf anymore. LSU's a little down.
But the fact that Ole Miss is now a player. The fact that South Carolina
Ole Miss
is
no
now
more
a
of a player now than they were before.
Okay.
They're sitting at home just like everybody else.
Okay.
That's not parity. You got close to the top 12. Whoop-de-doo.
Well, that's all you're fighting for. That's all you've ever been fighting for if you're outside of those top programs.
No, you're fighting for that year. You want that year like Washington had last year. That's what you're fighting for. You don't want to just get in the tournament. I mean, I got news for you. All right, I'm going to break down just how stupid what you just said was. And it's not really any – I've heard 100 people say it. It's just really stupid. Do you know what you get for playing in that first-round game?
What?
The school. What does the school make off that?
No clue.
$4 million.
Okay.
How much did it cost you to get there?
No clue.
2.5.
Okay.
Woo, I made $1.5 million.
Yeah.
And guess what? You make that from bowl games, too.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't change anything. You're wanting to change your program. Notre Dame gets to the national title game. They will bankroll over $50 million into the program.
Yes.
That's my goal. That's what I'm after. Mm-hmm. I don't care if I do it one time in 10 years. That's all I want. Just getting to the dance doesn't mean squat. SMU's program is not different today than it was 4 weeks ago. And if you don't believe me, look at recruiting and the transfer portal. They just had to settle for Tyler Van Dyke because Preston Stone transferred out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're getting 5 stars now. No, you're still a dog baby in a dog baby conference. Changes nothing. But, I mean, in terms of parity, it's not like we have a 4-team playoff here in the semifinals of, I'll use the one you said, Missouri and Louisiana Lafayette. That's parity.
Mm-hmm.
This is just, hey, the dice fell a different way this year. We had 12 teams on the dice, and this time it came up snake eyes. That's fun. And guess what? Next year it'll be Georgia again. It'll be Alabama will be a contender again. That, I guess that's where I was headed, is I'm not sure that part's going to stay that way. With the new scholarship limitation, I think that's going to change a lot because you're not going to be able to just hoard these guys forever.
Well, that's gone. You can't hoard guys anymore.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job of it.
You can't. Well, I mean, they're going to leave. They're going to go find a place.
Look at the quarterback depth chart at Georgia and tell me you can't hoard guys. Now, yes, Jaden Rashada is in the transfer portal. He's getting ready to sign. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
With his 5th team. He'll be a sophomore. This will be his 5th team. He is a sophomore. Yeah, that part's dumb.
Sure. Absolutely, it's dumb. And the answer is contracts. And as you said, we're not going down that path right now.
Well,
but we will.
There's so much.
You let Nick Saban keep saying it enough times and get Bowlesby and the others on board with it, we're going to get down that path pretty quick.
Oh, your aversion is not from the conference commissioners. That's not where the pushback's coming. Every conference wants there to be, because they know. No, you've still got 21-year-old kids that are not nearly as smart as they think they are, and you're going to get a lot of pushback. And the NCAA is so absolutely worthless that they don't want to go through the fight.
No.
Conference commissioners, if that was all it was, we need to get you 8 to agree to this. We could pass that probably by the time we got back from the next commercial break. There's way more to it than that. And there is one thing, there's one word that college football is really trying to keep out. Union. If you think things are bad right now, start chucking those out there and see what happens.
Yeah. They've already started. And they're coming.
Yeah, that doesn't.
And
really,
they're coming.
I don't believe they are. I believe the NCAA is doing everything in its power to keep that out.
Yeah, but again, I think it's like paying the players. There's nothing you can do to keep it from going. Once you start paying them, they're going to have the ability.
Well, you don't have a legal right to unionize.
They. What do you mean?
You have a legal right to make money off of. If you work, you have a legal right to be paid. That was the fight with the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they knocked down, is that you're working these guys like actual employees, and you're telling them they can't get paid.
Right.
That's illegal. That's called monopoly.
Right.
I, as an employer, if you unionize in many states across this great country of ours, you want to unionize? Cool, I can fire you for it. You're not getting away from that.
Mm-hmm.
That will always be a problem, but it's a threat. And then it gets into a legal fight, and do I want to spend the money, and do I actually have the ammo to spend the money right now? That will never happen. Just go ahead and tell you, a players' union, that ain't happening.
We'll see, because I guarantee you it will. The National Labor Relations Board said that it was already gave them the approval to do that.
That's fine.
You already have feeder ones.
That's
fine.
fine.
It's going to happen.
I still control all the money, and I still predominantly reside in the South, where say union in a southern state and see what happens. I'll go ahead and tell you, that ain't happening.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold now, setting the grounds for snow. Winter storm watch for now. Most likely that will get upgraded. Most of our snow coming tomorrow night. Clear, cold morning, sunshine as we get into the second part of Thursday, right round freezing with a gusty breeze. Thickening clouds tonight, down to the middle teens. Snow developing sometime mid to late morning tomorrow, 32. That snow will continue into tomorrow night. Might get some mixing in spots, but this can be mainly snow and maybe 3 to 5 inches. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by A. American Electric.
For over 40 years, A. American Electric has been family-owned and operated right here in WNC. With 3 generations and over 100 dedicated teammates, they are powered to serve our community. Homes and businesses can trust A. American Electric. Visit a-americanelectric.com.
It's Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Save up to 60% on a wide selection of quality mattresses at every price. Plus, score a free adjustable base with a qualifying purchase. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm today.
I'm Mark Starling, and this Medical Minute is brought to you by Haywood Regional Medical Center. Your health means everything to you, your family, and your community. And every minute matters when an emergency puts your health at risk. That's why it's so important to get to the hospital and get the care you need as soon as possible. The emergency department at Haywood Regional Medical Center provides quality care and even higher levels of emergency heart care found in their accredited chest pain center for just that added peace of mind. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Remember, when an emergency strikes, don't make your health wait. Get to the hospital as soon as you can and get the care that you need now at Haywood Regional Medical Center. Continuing a long-standing tradition of excellence, Haywood Regional Medical Center offers a comprehensive array of services. For more information and to check average ER wait times, visit myhaywoodregional.com. That's myhaywoodregional.com. This has been the Medical Minute, brought to you by Haywood Regional Medical Center.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Just visit ingalls-markets.com. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And, California's going through it right now. We all need to, best thoughts and prayers, all the great karma that you can send out to our fellow Americans in California. It's all needed right now. The fire's still smoldering and burning in Los Angeles as, it's thousands upon thousands of acres of land have now burned after one little tiny fire got started in 90-mile-an-hour Santa Ana winds the other day. They're going through a lot up there, and it's kind of reminiscent, right? Watching what they're going through and neighbors helping out each other in California, and what happened here with Hurricane Helene in western North Carolina. And in those times, you need everybody working to try to keep everybody safe, right? Keep things going. So this comes to us from, it doesn't tell me what television station this is. It might have been Channel 5 out in L.A., where the reporter's going up and down and they're just interviewing people. Well, part of the place that's on fire right now is the Pacific Palisades, where you never know who you're going to run into when you're walking down the street in the Pacific Palisades. Well, here's the sound. I'm just going to play this little clip for you because the end of this exchange between man on the street and reporter is probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard as a child of the 80s.
And they leave the keys in the car so that we can move your car so that these fire trucks can get up Palisades Drive. Yeah. What's happening is people take their keys with them as if they're in a parking lot. This is not a parking lot. Yeah. We really need people to move their cars. So if you leave your car on Palisades Drive, leave the key in there so a guy like me can move your car and get them up there so that these fire trucks can get up there. It's really, really important.
Thank you for talking to us live, sir. What's your name?
My name is Steve Gutenberg.
Steve, you live in this area?
I live in the
He
area.
had no clue. The reporter's on the side of the road. He's just conducting this interview with the Steve Gutenberg.
I have no idea who Steve Gutenberg is.
Are you serious?
Not
Police Academy movies?
Never
Come on, man. Short Circuit? It's an excellent movie. Johnny Five? You don't?
Never seen any of them.
Steve Gutenberg out there doing the Lord's work, making sure that the roadway is paved for the emergency workers to come in and out of the neighborhood. I heard that yesterday and thought, man, what a sad world we live in where kids don't even know who Steve Gutenberg is.
I don't know who Steve Gutenberg is.
Get out of here, kid.
I will also say, and you know, this is not a. If you listen to anybody that's living through California right now, I'm going to say this with absolutely no. There's no denial of what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
California's state government might be the dumbest group of people in the history of time. They just took $17 million out of the police department's budget, and their fire hydrants are empty. Think about what I just said. By the way, there was a guy that tried to tell you that last summer, and you mocked him. And 2 weeks from now, he'll be your president. My story is about Belgium. I don't know a lot about Belgium. Do you? Other than
they have great waffles.
I knew that's what you were going to say. But apparently they have a problem.
No more waffles.
No.
Oh, good.
The waffle seems to be it does have to do with food, though.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. They've had to tell people to not eat their Christmas trees.
Excuse me?
Yep. The National Food Agency of Belgium is having to tell its people, don't eat your Christmas tree. Do you know why you don't eat a Christmas tree?
Because it's not food.
Well,
I mean, unless it's Little Debbie and it's covered in sugary goodness, you don't eat Christmas trees because they're not food.
Well, that is a problem, yes.
For humans.
They're also poisonous.
Oh, that's...
many of your Christmas trees are poisonous for you to ingest. They're also, a lot of them are covered in pesticides and flame agents that keep them from catching on fire.
Yep.
That are also poisonous.
Yes.
I don't, I've worried about a lot of things in my life. Having to tell people, hey, don't eat your Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think we were ever getting here.
Mm-mm. There's a reason that the chemical companies don't make flame retardant in, chicken flavor. You're not supposed to eat that. Who in the world is just noshing on their Christmas tree? It's
funny you said that. Where did the idea come from?
Of eating a Christmas tree?
Mm-hmm.
California.
That's the wrong answer and still the right answer. No, the city of Ghent, which is in Belgium, was telling people to make a delicious spruce needle butter with their Christmas tree. So what they were telling people, the city, was take the pine needles that fall off your Christmas tree, infuse it in butter, and then eat it. To the point of the Belgium version of the FDA had to say, don't do that. Do anything but that because you will die.
I feel like next election there's going to be some changes.
Okay. I mean, whether it's Belgium, California, from now on, I feel like anybody that runs for elected office should have to take an IQ test on national television. You know what? Make them take the Wonderlic. If you can't get a 30 on the Wonderlic, you cannot lead public office.
I like that.
I've done it 4 times, and I ain't that bright.
Yep.
So, as evidenced, by the fact I just said I ain't that bright.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin, you know what Gavin Newsom would get on a Wonderlic? Drool. I don't know.
Ben Wintley says he didn't recognize Steve Gutenberg in that video. He is a little pudgier. Because the guy is, he's aged. That was clearly Steve Gutenberg. You should have known that. Shame on that reporter for not knowing Steve
Gutenberg could walk in here right now, and I would be like, Hey, fat guy, what you need?
He'd be like, "Excuse me, sir. The mail drop-off is right around the corner."
Yeah. We're good. I don't have any change, sir. I don't carry cash. My bad, bruh.
The college football playoff semifinals tonight. James Franklin versus Marcus Freeman. Historic matchup between two coaches, and who gets the better of the matchup? Who do you give an advantage to? Who's the better coach to you? Is it Marcus Freeman or is it James Franklin?
Well, I mean, to me, I like the staff at Notre Dame better than I like the staff at Penn State. I also have seen James Franklin just waffle in these situations so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the funny thing is, if we're going player for player, I like the quarterback better at Penn State. I like the running backs better at Penn State. The lines are pretty close. Receivers are pretty close.
Mm-hmm. After watching what that line did to Georgia in the last game, they got to get the nod for me.
Offensive line, defensive line,
I didn't think they were both. I didn't think they were that strong. I
both
really
good.
didn't.
They're both good. I just look at James Franklin as, how many times do I have to see you in a big situation and you throw the full turd in the punch bowl before that's who you are.
See, and to me, that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where my rooting interest is right now.
Is you want him to get out of that?
I pick Notre Dame because I think Notre Dame's the better team, and I think they win this. But my rooting interest in this game is probably Penn State. I've told you before, I've always had an affinity for Penn State going back to the Joe Paterno days. Just something about that whole atmosphere. The uniforms are slick. It's just hard-nosed football. I've always thought Penn State was one of those premier brands in college football. And they've always been so mired by who's in front of them, right? But at Penn State, it's always about who you're not. You're not Michigan. You're not Ohio State. Hell, there was a time there where you're not Michigan State. Right? It's been a long time since Penn State's been the big program.
Look, Penn State's got a lot of tradition that is pretty easy to get behind. The "we are" thing, it just works. It does.
I've always liked James Franklin as a coach, and it's that lovable loser kind of thing. He's such a good coach, and when I see him speak, he's one of those that I look at and go, man, if I were a player, I think that's a guy I'd want to play for. It's a guy I'd want to run through a wall for. And the fact that he falls short every time, I think, is one of those, it's kind of how Boston Red Sox of you. Just at some point, I want to see you get over that hump. At some point, I want to see you win this thing. If Notre Dame wins, sure, it'd be an okay story for me. Well, Marcus Freeman's only been there for a couple of years. He hasn't put in the dues to earn this thing. James Franklin's just been around the block so many times or been so close for so long that I think that's where my heart wants to be in this game. But my head keeps telling me that team that I saw last week is not going to be easy to deal with.
No.
And I don't think I've seen Penn State play a game this year where I felt like they played as well as Notre Dame did last week against Georgia. And the worst part about that is Notre Dame offense didn't play good last week. They were pretty awful for most of the game. But they came up with the big plays in, random moments. Yeah, 54-second window right there at the end of the first half was a nightmare.
The X factor tonight for you is what? For me, this is as easy as it's ever been. This is the easiest game, I think, maybe in the history of time, for me to say there is one guy that decides everything that happens tonight.
Drew Aller.
Good Drew Aller. Penn State could win, and I think probably would.
Mm-hmm.
Because in terms of just sheer arm talent, he's probably the best quarterback in the country. The problem is that bad Drew shows up sometimes, and he's so afraid to make a mistake that he just never presses it down the field. That guy will get his brain mushed by Notre Dame.
No doubt. Riley Leonard's also a big one.
I don't think he matters.
Really?
Nope. What did he really do against Georgia?
Controlled the ball.
By doing what?
Running.
By grossing it out.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to run no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So long as he stays upright and nothing, he's going to run. He's running every game he's ever played. That's not volatile. That would be like saying, hey, is he going to show up and breathe? Yeah. Okay, then that's not an X factor because that's going to happen. That's not enough to beat good Drew Aller. Because when he's on, he is intoxicating to watch. That is why I've had more than one NFL team say, man, I wish he was in this draft class because I would just shoot my shot because it's better than anything else I could do.
Yep.
But the bad is really bad. And you said you were rooting for James Franklin. There's part of me that's just rooting for Drew Aller. I want you to have that game on a national stage where it didn't happen against Northwestern. It didn't happen against Michigan State. The biggest time, the biggest game you've ever played, you stepped up and had the biggest game humanly possible. Because I said when he was a freshman, that kid's going to be a number one pick in the draft. Him and Jackson Dart. I said it in back-to-back years, and I love them both. Still love them both. All these years later, I still love them both. But there is some maddening to them, too.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
It's just not normal, the pain caused from chronic joint pain day after day. But some of you have dealt with that pain for so long, it becomes your new normal. Short-term fixes are not working. Get moving again in 2025 with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine joint preservation. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. Tens of thousands of people with pain have discovered these cellular treatments and are living life again without that constant pain in their joints. Want to learn more about how you can refresh your joints to get lasting relief with these amazing treatments? Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Deal with joint pain now so you can make the most of the new year. Call QC Kinetics in Asheville and Greenville. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
In 2024, what we paid
paying more for things
was a lot.
That will change.
In 2025, let's pay
what they're supposed to be paying
attention.
A lot of things can happen.
A busy news year on 570 WWNC.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford, Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community heroes, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Nominate your Parks Community hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the tailgate.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold now, setting the grounds for snow. Winter storm watch for now. Most likely that will get upgraded. Most of our snow coming tomorrow night. Clear, cold morning, sunshine as we get into the second part of Thursday, right round freezing with a gusty breeze. Thickening clouds tonight, down to the middle teens. Snow developing sometime mid to late morning tomorrow, 32. That snow will continue into tomorrow night. Might get some mixing in spots, but it's going to be mainly snow and maybe 3 to 5 inches. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Bojangles. It's bow time. It's bow time. Bojangles has your morning craving covered with any of our classic made-from-scratch biscuits and a side of bow rounds for just $5. Cajun filet biscuit and bow rounds, $5. Sausage, egg, and cheese plus bow rounds, $5. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
At Haywood Regional Medical Center, your health means everything. In an emergency, every minute matters. Get to the hospital and get the care that you need as soon as possible. Haywood Regional's emergency department provides quality care, including advanced heart care at their accredited chest pain center. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your health is nothing to wait for. For more information and to check average ER wait times, visit myhaywoodregional.com. That's myhaywoodregional.com.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are live in the Ingalls studio. You can take us everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and you can also see us with YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat. Get your super chats in as well if you would like. It is a threadbare Thursday. It is the day of the college football playoff semifinal, or the first semifinal.
Yeah, sorry, I was a little late coming back from the break. That commercial break was a little bit longer than it should have been. That was my fault. We have like the best sponsors in the world. I mean, and I'm not saying that just to be a kiss-keister. I literally have such a great relationship. And, I mean, Tank does too. I'm not speaking for you here. JW from Parks Ford was down the hall. And literally we're like, anytime he and I see each other, we're like two frat bros of just, we got to talk for 10 minutes. You got to hug it out. Such wonderfully great. But we're so lucky at the people we get to work with.
Absolutely, we
Mel from Ingalls Markets and Ruby and that whole team. We had Clark and Susie with us at the Peach Bowl. JW that I just mentioned from Parks Ford, Clarissa, who is the Clarissa, and Clarissa sells WNC.
Mm-hmm.
We're just it's Mark from Dale's Pale Ale. Sorry, I just want to make sure I got them all. I can legitimately say they're all friends, and I think I'm the only person in radio that I know can say every single sponsor we have I consider like a really good friend.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
It is an awesome problem to have.
We love the people that we work with, or else we wouldn't be here, right?
Yes.
And sometimes you can look past the biggest things when it comes to Jeremy. You can look past those things and go, maybe it's still worth being in his presence every day.
Yes.
It's good.
In spite of what many of you probably think about me, I'm apparently more likable than some of you believe.
Well, because it's fun. You keep things fun, Jeremy. That's what we like about it. All right, it is a Threadbare Thursday. The college football playoff first semifinal is coming up tonight, and right now it is time for the Daily Draft. Daily Draft brought to you by our good friends at Dale's Pale Ale, and today's draft is going to be focused on the coaching carousel in the NFL. So tell me, Jeremy, again, how this is going to work?
So we are going to rank the 6 head coach openings, because I have it on good authority that that's the 6 that we're going to have.
Okay.
Dallas is going to get, it may be a stopgap 1-year extension, but there will be an extension, it looks, with Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
They blocked him off from talking to the Bears, which is the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Hey, you can't talk to the Bears for 7 days. They're probably not going to make a decision in that time anyway, so boo. They're going to get something done. So we'll rank the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We'll debate it out, go 1 to 6, and then we will draft who we would hire for those positions.
Okay.
This was settled in the YouTube chat in a way that shows that the House of Reprehensibles is way more efficient than the House of Representatives. Because we negotiated this whole thing in about 45 seconds.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the number one job in this carousel cycle, I mean, it's the New England Patriots, right?
Is it, though?
You think it's a different one?
Sell me on it.
I mean, I would rather go play for an organization that I can believe in, right? An owner that I can believe in. Robert Kraft, one of the best leaders in the NFL.
Okay, so you have a good owner.
They have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good start. They got money to play with in the offseason, right?
Yeah, they're not the only one.
They're like top 3, aren't they?
They're very high up.
And I got a high draft pick. What's not to like?
The fact that you don't have anything else. You have a scouting department that is historically terrible. Not done a great job of hitting those little random finds. Oh, by the way, your previous regime just re-signed virtually every one of those guys. So you got some commitment to it. I'm not telling you it's not the best one. I don't think it is. But I won't fight with you much on anything that you said.
Okay.
I don't really think there is a one. I think they're all flawed. Every one of them has a great big positive.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them has a great big negative. The Bears roster, 2 to 53, is fantastic. You're stuck to a quarterback that I do not believe in. The Raiders, I actually like a lot of that roster, and I like your GM. I just don't know exactly what you're going to do at quarterback, and I have a weird feeling it's either going to be Aiden O'Connell or Shedeur Sanders, which I don't feel great about either way. Jacksonville, I think you have a quarterback that's probably better than any of these other guys are going to be. But he's already expensive, and you're probably stuck with Trent Baalke.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me that what Shad Khan said of a coaching candidate could come in and convince me to get rid of Trent Baalke, I would take Jacksonville at 1. Baalke's the one big negative to me. I don't think Shad's involved in decisions day to day.
He's involved enough, though. He's involved enough to make sure that Trent Baalke sticks around, and that's a problem. And
he's the one that makes the decisions.
Right,
of course he's going to be involved.
That's what I'm saying. But as long as he continues that path.
What I'm saying is I think the right coaching candidate, he would cede some of that control.
Maybe so.
Like Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson gets carte blanche.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's why he said that, is if Ben will take this job, he can bring whatever GM down here he wants to. I don't have an aversion saying New England is one. I don't agree with it.
Okay.
But I can – okay.
All right. So Jacksonville's your one?
Jacksonville would probably be my one, yeah.
Okay. The Jaguars – that's just a franchise. Like, I don't think you're ever going to win. I don't think you're ever going to win. I think you're shoddily ran. And as you said, maybe if I can convince you to upset the apple cart, okay. But I don't think I can. I don't think I would be able to.
I think I would be able to. But I guess I'm going at this from the I'm Ben Johnson perspective. And you want me, you're going to do what I tell you.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's the only one. But
I think these are 6 bad jobs. Let me put it that way. There's not a good job here, to me.
I would agree with that.
There's just different levels of terrible.
I would agree with that.
Because to me, there's 3 bad and 3 real bad.
Okay, what's number 3? If we're going Patriots, Jaguars,
Raiders.
Raiders is 3.
Big new stadium, owner that's not averse to paying. I think you have a nice baseline of talent. You have a GM I like, and it's kind of a blank canvas. But you don't have terrible contracts.
Mm-hmm.
That cap ledger's not killed.
So you've got room to work with.
Then you get into the other 3.
Right.
The Chicago Bears, you better be able to work within the confines of what you've got because there is no way out.
Mm-hmm.
The New Orleans Saints, see previous, times 5. And then there's the weird one for me. The Jets are the weird one for me. Because when I look at your roster, 2 to 53, I want to say that the Jets is the best job here. Then I look at your owner and go, oh, no, wait, this is the worst job here.
He's not worse than the Jacksonville Jaguars, is he?
Oh, my God, it's not even close. I would carry Woody Johnson across the Atlantic Ocean to replace him with Shad Khan. That's how bad he is at this point. He's terrible.
Mm-hmm. So it's all on him.
I know a lot, and a lot of it's off the record. Let me put it this way. If 60% of what I've been told goes on in that building is actually going on in that building, it is so much worse than I could ever tell you.
Yeah.
And look, the thing with his kids, his kids are taking over the team from him. It's a weird dynamic. The Johnson brothers own the team. It's Chris and Woody.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher and Woody. Christopher and Aaron Rodgers get along great. Woody and Aaron Rodgers can't stand each other. Maybe you see where the dysfunction comes in.
Right.
Woody is trying to teach his sons the business at hand because they will take it over from him. They're 17. Or one's 17, one's 16, I think. They don't actually have a role, but they're in the meetings, and that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, the worst job on the market is New Orleans. The Jets are a very close two, and the Bears are right in front of the Jets.
Okay.
The Jets have no quarterback. The Bears have a bad one. I'm not really sure which is better.
It is hard to pick who is worse out of that scenario. As you were talking, I was like, yeah, but okay, Woody Johnson's terrible, but so are the McCaskies. Like, did you hear what George McCaskey said the other day?
I did not.
About they were asking him about the search, and did he think it was important that the GM and the coach get along together? And he said no, that he didn't think that was an important thing. And that, to me, sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Congratulations, Chicago.
I don't disagree with the word he said. I don't care if you get along.
Really?
No.
You don't care that GM and coach are on different pages. That's not a thing.
I didn't say different pages. You said get along.
That's what I meant. I mean,
okay, well, that's not what you said. No, trust me, there are people that I can do business with that I don't get along with.
I'm not talking about be friends with. I'm talking about y'all can't get on the same page, that a working relationship between the two is not important. That's what he says.
Sorry I'm such a keister hole that you said they can't get along, and I took that to mean can't get along. But, apologies that I didn't dig into what you meant. No, I don't care if they get along. Yes, they need to be on the same page.
Right.
But you know why he said that.
Why?
Because there's a huge power struggle in Chicago.
No kidding. And who created it?
Well, the fact you have a lame I wanted to say lame duck there, but that insinuates he's going somewhere. You have a weak-handed owner. That entire family has been weak-handed for 50 years. So, yeah, you have a team president and a GM. They both want control.
Right.
So, yeah, you did that.
But
there's nothing you can do about it.
And is that any worse than or any better than Woody?
I can fire Kevin Warren. I can't fire Woody Johnson. I honestly, I think you'd solve a lot of the problems with the Chicago Bears by firing Kevin Warren. But he's so respected in NFL circles. I couldn't care less if I tried. I thought he was an idiot when he was the Big Ten commissioner. I think he's an idiot now.
I was about to say that super chat, but I'm not gonna. And so it begins again.
Sir Timothy is the king at super chatting things that we can't say out loud.
He is. The New Orleans Saints, terrible. Yeah, I mean, all of these are terrible. That's why the Patriots are at the top to me, because that's the only organization that I go, yeah, I think you're probably going to dig out of this. The rest of them I look at and go, I don't think you ever are.
I don't, because I think my problem with New England is that you have a problem that's even, I'm not going to say it's harder to get rid of. Your scouting department is awful. Awful. And I mean, you wanted to blame it on Bill? Hey, go look at that last draft class. Killing it? Not so much.
Well, I mean, they did get Drake and Jalen Polk.
All right, let's play a fun game with Jalen Polk. I only have to look this up to see if anything changed from when I saw this stat.
Okay.
How many catches did Jalen Polk have in 2024?
I don't know. 47.
Lower.
32.
Lower.
12.
12 is the number that it was in week 17.
Nice.
12 for 87 yards. That was your second-round pick. You traded the pick for Ladd McConkey to get Jalen Polk. Not a good start.
Just not worked out yet. Could be fine.
Yeah, not good. You took the third best receiver at Washington. I said that at the time. Now, I thought he'd be better than that, but.
All right, so Patriots, Jaguars,
yeah.
Raiders, New York.
Nope, Bears.
No, Bears,
Jets,
Saints. Okay.
The Saints are old and expensive. That is which is vaguely where Sir Timothy's super chat was going, only it referred to the owner.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The daily draft will...
We have one more super chat that we actually can read. I just have to be delicate reading it as well.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
Here
we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
From Red Sea, when we were talking about unions in college football, he said, you say union in the South, and the ghost of Robert E. Lee rises up and slaps you in the face. Union's not a good word down here.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Continues next. We'll pick the candidates for the jobs open in this NFL coaching cycle.
When it comes to making fantasy picks on your favorite players, you want excitement, but you also want a platform you can trust. Better Picks is available in over 30 states, so if you're hearing this, it's probably available for you.
Better Picks is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just pick more or less on your favorite player stats and put your skills to the test.
With Better Picks, you get the thrill of playing for up to 1,000 times your cash. So go ahead, make your picks and play for big wins with super fast payouts and withdrawals.
Go to betterpicks.com, BETRpicks.com, or download Better on the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to play for up to 1,000 times your cash.
Plus, new users get up to a $200 match on their first deposit and join thousands playing across the U.S.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
FEMA funding is available to support repairs on private roads and bridges, even if your primary home is not damaged. For more information or to schedule an inspection, call 1-800-621-FEMA. Again, call 1-800-621-3362.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Just visit ingalls-markets.com. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400, seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Oh, good Lord. Oh, I apologize. It's one of those moments where I'd see something and can't believe what I'm seeing. Pat McAfee apparently on his show today was wearing some kind of blouse, and it was not very flattering. Anyway.
By the way, we have breaking news.
Ooh, breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This may change the ranking of our open jobs.
Yeah.
It's from Adam Schefter. Now the Raiders have fired general manager Tom Telesco.
Oh,
2 days
good.
after moving on from Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
From Diana Rossini. From what I was told, Telesco was I can't believe I'm saying this as I'm saying it. From what I was told, Telesco was fired mostly because ownership seems to prefer having the general manager and head coach more connected, like a cohesive partnership, than something that feels more arranged or forced. Brady has a lot of influence in Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
I have no qualm with what you just said here, except for the fact you just came out and said you were retaining Tom Telesco yesterday. I don't know what you're doing there.
Nobody does. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Oh, I mean, I have a pretty good idea that Tom Brady's the one that's calling shots. Mark Davis is just sitting in the sidecar going, hey, can we go to the grocery store today, Tom?
Well, he should be. More than Mark Davis.
I reiterate for the 500,000th time, just because you were a good player does not mean you will be a good head coach, a good general manager, a good owner, a good anything. Because I'll go ahead and tell you, he better be 5 times the owner he is commentator. Because, good God, he is brutal at that.
Just because your dad owned a team doesn't mean you're good at this either.
Don't disagree.
And he's not.
Well,
Mark Davis has never been good at this.
Here's the thing. It doesn't mean just because you've got 2 owners doesn't mean one of them is intelligent.
True, but if your way keeps blowing up in our face, then maybe my way's better. I don't know. I would trust Tom Brady's word more than Mark Davis's at this point, but to each his own. The Las Vegas Raiders, it never fails. It never ceases to amaze me.
Oh, and
just how comical this thing can be.
Adam Black said that, and Brady talking to Belichick isn't a coincidence. No, but I think too much was made of it. I went down that rabbit hole yesterday. We have pretty good sources within the University of North Carolina. Bill Belichick ain't going anywhere.
No.
Now, he might in a year, but if that was the case, you probably should have held on to Antonio Pierce.
I would hope that if there was more of a if there was more of a chance of that happening, the buyout on that contract would have been bigger. I heard him talking today and said the buyout was $10 million on his deal with the Tar Heels.
$10 million within the first year is real high.
But it's not something that's going to keep the NFL from poaching him away.
Yeah, $10 million is probably enough to keep a team away.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, because Bill's not paying $10 million out of his own pocket.
No.
Well, I mean, the team's not paying it. So, what, I'm going to pay my head coach $25 million in year one? Yeah, no, I don't think that's happening. $10 million is enough to keep him away for a year. Now, a year from now, literally a year from the day he was hired at North Carolina, it drops to $1 million, which tells me he may only be there a year.
That was always a possibility.
For sure.
So, regardless of whether he was going to go to the NFL or not, that was always a possibility.
We have a good comment in the YouTube, and we have a super chat in the YouTube. We'll start with Andreas Pinckney. He said, the Saints have a bad cap situation, but they have the best ownership out of all the openings. I would rather – Bob Kraft is better, but that's the only one. I would take Gail Benson over the other 4.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Eamon report. I'm predicting Bruce Arians will be the next Raiders general manager. Please do that. God, that would be funny. Just to see old Bryson DeChambeau's dad out there hanging out and doing stuff.
You never know. He could win you a Super Bowl. He's done it before.
Is Tom coming to play quarterback? Then I feel pretty sure he won't.
You never know. Never know. All right, so daily draft, we got to pick the candidates for all of these jobs.
So I feel like we've only got a couple minutes before we have to go into the bottom of the hour break. So we'll just go ahead and take the one off the table that is the most unabashedly obvious. Neither one of us going to have Ben Johnson. Because Ben's the winner. Whoever gets Ben wins. Because the rest of them are throwing darts at a board.
Okay.
I will say I think there's a great chance he doesn't take any of these.
I'm not willing to go out on that limb because at some point you gotta take the leap. And if there were any of these that I was going to take, it would be New England.
I don't see a path Ben takes New England. I just don't. If Ben takes a job in this cycle, I would almost be willing to bet the farm it would be the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Balky would have to go. I don't know that he's taking a job. If you told me right now one Lions defensive coordinator came back next year, I would bet my house that Aaron Glenn took the Saints job and Ben Johnson came back.
Okay. All right. So nobody can take Ben.
Nope. Ben's off the table.
All right. So the New England Patriots. Who's your pick?
Well, I mean, we're just picking the candidates that we would hire. You're not necessarily putting them into a job.
Oh, I thought that's what we were doing.
No, we do this every year. If we're hiring a guy, back and forth, who is the selection?
Gotcha. All right, go ahead.
If I had to hire a coach in this cycle that was not Ben Johnson, my choice would be Joe Brady. If you remember when we did our expansion teams, Joe Brady was my coach.
Okay.
And I'm not backing off that. I like the staff he could put together because you've got to understand the way staffs are built are relationships of who you've worked with.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon with Joe Brady. I would like him to have a former head coach on his staff, probably running the defense. But if I've got to pick one, that's my one.
It's a good one.
Knowing real well that I'm not getting my 2 because you will take him in the next 2 picks.
Is it Mike Vrabel?
No.
Really?
I don't know why everybody is so up in arms about Mike Vrabel.
Because Mike Vrabel's a good coach and he needs to be got somewhere.
Okay, so and I'm not disputing that he's a good coach.
Yes. But why is he a bad coach?
Just literally last words out of my mouth. I'm not disputing that he's a good coach. I don't understand why everybody's acting like this is Andy Reid 2.0, where he got fired in Philadelphia and now he's just going to go win somewhere else.
Compared to all these guys? Yeah.
Mike Vrabel is a coach that is 9 games over 500. He coached for 6 years. He was 11-5 and 12-5 in back-to-back years, where the offense was light years better than it was in the other 4. The other 4 years, he was a league average NFL coach.
With one of the worst franchises in the league.
I don't agree with that.
Okay. Since when were the Tennessee Titans a good franchise?
The Tennessee Titans have been consistently competitive for 30 years. I mean, all right. You just said they're one of the worst franchises in the league.
Yes.
Cleveland Browns, Jacksonville Jaguars, New York Jets. Let's go with the biggest of big losers. Arizona Cardinals. Who am I missing it? New York Giants. Tennessee's not even in the ballpark of any of the 5 teams I just said. And if you say they are, I'm going to tell you you're so far out of your mind that we need to have you committed.
Then you need to call somebody right now because they're right outside that group.
And that's not true.
If they're not in the ballpark, they're at the turnstile trying to get into the ballpark. I have never felt like Tennessee was a great organization, and the fact that he won there and was the number 1 seed in the playoffs at one point with that team, then I feel like he's pretty good.
The Tennessee Titans, since the year I graduated high school, which was 2005, so you're talking about 20 seasons.
Okay.
They've won 8 or more games 14 times.
Okay.
Yes, sorry, that's not in the that's barely in the bottom half of the league, let alone with who I was just talking about. The Jacksonville Jaguars, I would have to look this up. I think in the franchise's history, and this is the 30th year, I think they've only won more than 8 games like 10 times total. If you don't see the difference between those two, I'm not real sure I can help you. I can't walk you into that.
But 8 games is still not good.
8 games is 500. That's half the league lives in that territory. Tennessee virtually never bottoms out. They're in a bottom out right now. They were the 1 seed in the AFC a handful of years ago. And guess what? The coach that Vrabel replaced, there were a couple of them. The Mike Munchak era, that wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
Mike Mularkey wasn't particularly good either. Jeff Fisher was there for 2 decades.
Yeah.
Fine. Went to a Super Bowl, won double-digit games 6 times. Yeah, that's not a bottom feeder team. It's just not.
Okay.
They're building a gigantic new stadium. I don't love the current ownership, but to put them down there with the Jaguars, you're out of your mind. And literally, I could probably name 5 more teams. Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans, historically, which one's better? It's Tennessee, and it's not even kind of close.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
There's no I guess. Tennessee, or the Houston's had 4 years in 20 that they were even passably good. 2 of them with Deshaun Watson, 1 last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who the quarterback was for the other one. Other than that, they've been a bottom feeder the entire time they've been in the league. It's worse than Tennessee.
Okay.
Raiders. I didn't even say the Raiders.
Yeah, no,
and that
the Raiders
one's super obvious.
They're not close. I've never thought Tennessee was a good organization. And
I'm not telling you they're a linchpin organization.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that. You said they're one of the worst in the league, and to me that is laughably ridiculous. There are some that I don't even know what you're doing.
Right.
Tennessee is not one of those.
Mike Vrabel, definitely at the top of the list for me.
I'll go ahead and tell you, you didn't have to take him right there because I wouldn't have taken him on the next side. I don't think you can win the way he coaches football. I'm just going to run the ball and play good defense. Good luck. You got to go beat Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. Best quarterback he's ever had in his life was Ryan Tannehill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm good. Again, not saying he's bad, but I don't think you're winning in the NFL that way. And the fact that people keep treating him like he's some diamond that's just sitting out there waiting on – I'll put it this way. I'd rather hire Bill Belichick, and I wouldn't think twice about it.
Over Mike Vrabel?
No doubt. Not a doubt in this world.
Okay. My second pick is going to be Aaron Glenn.
That was the one I was talking about.
I mean, if you're not going to let me have the number 1 target out of Detroit, I'll take the number 2 target out of Detroit. Aaron Glenn, and the fact that he's a former Saint, I mean, it only makes, or a coach with the Saints, it only makes sense that that's where he ends up.
I'm pretty confident that's where all that goes. I can't really see a path that it doesn't. Namely because I can't figure out who else would take the Saints' job. I look at the people that interviewed, none of it really sends me. Aaron Glenn does. Because New Orleans has defensive pieces. You said something a couple days ago about they were like bereft of talent, and I don't see that in any way. They're bereft of weapons, especially with Chris Olave. If he's not coming back, then yeah, you're in trouble. But at full health, that team's not bad. Dennis Allen's an awful coach. Awful.
All right. After that, we'll take a break, and Jeremy will have his next picks in the daily draft today. Top candidates in the 2025 NFL coaching cycle. Daily draft brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Continues after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold now, setting the grounds for snow. Winter storm watch for now. Most likely that will get upgraded. Most of our snow coming tomorrow night. Clear, cold morning, sunshine as we get into the second part of Thursday, right round freezing with a gusty breeze. Thickening clouds tonight, down to the middle teens. Snow developing sometime mid to late morning tomorrow, 32. That snow will continue into tomorrow night. Might get some mixing in spots, but it's going to be mainly snow and maybe 3 to 5 inches. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
It's Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Save up to 60% on a wide selection of quality mattresses at every price. Plus, score a free adjustable base with a qualifying purchase. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm today.
NC Department of Adult Correction is hiring correctional officers statewide. Benefits include a $10,000 sign-on bonus, paid vacation, and health insurance. That's right, a $10,000 sign-on bonus, paid vacation, and health insurance. Explore a career in criminal justice and learn what it actually involves. Looking for dedicated people with integrity and compassion who are interested in a stable and rewarding career. Visit dac.nc.gov/cojobs. dac.nc.gov/cojobs.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford, Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Like Daniel, a veteran, who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Back in the Sportsocracy, this is ESPN Asheville. Daily Draft brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. We're drafting the coaching candidates in this carousel cycle here. We rank the jobs open in the NFL as the Patriots 1, Jaguars 2, Raiders 3, Chicago 4, the New York Jets, and then at the bottom, the New Orleans Saints. However, then the news came out that Tom Telesco got fired 2 days after the Raiders said they were going to hold on to him. And I believe that probably has to knock them down on this list a peg or two. It does
to me.
I think that has to knock them down on this on this list a peg or two, because it just never stops. It's always something with them. I'm not saying getting rid of Tom Telesco was the worst idea you ever had, but it definitely wasn't the best. You brought him in for 1 year, and in 1 year you went, nope, that's not it.
Mm-hmm. And so now you've got to convince a high-end GM candidate that they will be your fourth GM in 5 years, because you had Ziegler come in with McDaniels.
Yep.
You had Telesco replace him, and then you had I'm trying to remember now who it was before Ziegler. Mike Mayock.
Yeah.
So this will be your fourth GM in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's hard to wrap your brain around.
It baffles me how many people get got in this. How many people sign up for this over and over and over again? I get it. It's one of the best 32 jobs in the world. Isn't that what they say? There are 32 jobs in the NFL, and those are better than any other job that you could have. So it's highly sought after to be a head coach in the NFL. But I wouldn't want to do it for one of these organizations other than the Patriots.
No. I wouldn't want to do it for the Patriots.
Right. So your number one pick in the daily draft today in the coaching candidates, you're going number one overall prospect as a coach for you is Joe Brady.
Yes.
I went Mike Vrabel because I don't feel like there's much of a chance of him not getting a job in this cycle. And Aaron Glenn, same thing.
I lean more Raiders than I do. I lean more Raiders than I do Patriots, though.
I would agree with that. I mean, we want to make this make sense with New England and Vrabel because he played there and he's got the relationship and all of that. I don't know. I feel like we just did that. Is that really what he's thinking? Is that really what Robert Kraft is thinking? Is let's just keep doing it the Patriot way. Let's keep bringing Patriots back.
Well, I mean, New England thinks they're hiring Ben Johnson.
Yes,
that's where they think this is going.
Yes.
You know, they've scheduled 4 interviews.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only team in this cycle that has not requested at least 7 candidates, other than the Raiders, and that job's been open for a day.
Yes, because I'm either going to give it to Vrabel, or I'm going to give Ben Johnson whatever he wants.
Well, I think Kraft is treating it backwards. What you just said.
Ben's the
I'm
number
going
one.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
And we'll take Vrabel as a fallback. And
Yes.
the minute he figures that out, which he probably already has, I don't love your chances. I'm going.
It'd be hard for me to say no.
My second choice, I'm going a little bit of a wild card.
Okay.
I'm going Pete Carroll.
Oh, you dog.
I'd go Pete Carroll over anybody because I know what I'm getting.
I would too.
I also know I'm not tied to this forever.
Mm-hmm. I would too. When I heard that there were teams interested,
he's interested in Chicago.
When Chicago, that was the name. That was the team I heard, was that Chicago was interested in talking, and he apparently wants to be on a sideline again. It could be worse. It could be worse. You could try to.
It's been 2 Super Bowls. Yeah, that's better than let me pick Drew Petzing. Yeah, I believe I will do that instead.
Yes. All right, next up.
I'm gonna go another wild card.
Okay.
David Shaw.
Ooh.
I've always said he was more of an NFL coach than he was a college coach,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very telling to me that he's already interviewed for 2 of these jobs. He's interviewed with the Bears,
Mm-hmm.
and he interviewed with the Saints. I think it was the Saints. I won't be shocked if he gets a job. That's a guy with head coach experience. That he's an exec for the Broncos.
Yes.
Yeah, he's with the Broncos.
Yes, he's with the Broncos.
If I had looked at my screen, I wouldn't have said that with a question mark because it's very large on my screen.
He's one of those that I guess I kind of forgot about in the process of his name was hot and heavy 4 years ago, and every cycle his name keeps getting brought back up, but he's stayed in the college game or just didn't get the jobs in the NFL. Maybe this is the year for David Shaw. I'm going with experience as well, and that's Brian Flores.
We could have done this for 10 rounds. I'm not taking Brian Flores. Guy suing the league that my team is occupied by, I'm good. I'll pass. You can have that. He can be a great head coach.
Yep.
And I'm not telling you he won't be. I'm not doing it.
I believe he's going to get one of these jobs. He'll get offered one of these jobs. Whether he takes it or not will be up to him, which somebody offers you a job, you are going to take it, I feel like, if you're in Brian Flores' position. Because you got blackballed after the way things ended in Miami. And then you got brought back to be a coordinator and an assistant, and things have gone pretty well. Right? The rehab here has been pretty good. He goes to Pittsburgh, then he gets the Minnesota job. I was listening to a clip the other day from Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was talking about, being in Miami under Brian Flores when he was playing there. And he was just warning everybody. Like, remember, this didn't go well in Miami. It didn't end well. It all started out fine, and then the more power Brian Flores got, the less he was willing to work with other people, and the more dictatorial he became in the way that he ran the team, and he lost the locker room, and he lost the confidence of everybody on his staff, essentially, the ownership, obviously, and then, obviously, when he got fired, the lawsuit came, and he's had some time for all of that to die down and to kind of have the rehab take its course. I think he would get a job. But if I had to make that call, I don't know, I'd be the one to call him. But again, when you have these franchises making this call, you get what you can get. You don't have the option of appealing to somebody, I don't know, with a brighter future, with more choices. We always talk about that. Anybody with choices taking your job? Not necessarily. So I think Flores gets hired.
And
then Cliff Kingsbury.
Yep, didn't want to do that one either. I would have. Flores, you could have left. I wouldn't have taken him. Kingsbury, I would have taken on the next turn.
Yep.
Oh, you're going to make me get cute again. I think Kingsbury, I don't know that he gets hired in this cycle. More because I don't see where he lands. Chicago made sense. I'll say I'm 30% confident that Pete Carroll's getting that Bears job.
Okay.
I don't think he would have stepped out on that ledge and said he wanted it. There's a big difference between Pete Carroll and Rex Ryan. I love Rex. May not have to wait that long to hear his name. But he has been out of the league for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll got fired a year ago. He didn't have to step out on that ledge. He did it because he wanted it to be known. I want them, and I think they want me. And it'd be a great hire.
Yeah.
Kingsbury, that's the Chicago job's the one that made sense. Everybody else doesn't really make sense. And I think he's pretty comfortable in Washington. Okay. I know one of my two, and I cannot believe I'm getting ready to say this. My next one's Robert Saleh.
Okay.
Now that I know how dysfunctional the Jets were, I'm not sure that I don't want to give him a hiccup on that. You know what? They were such a train wreck, I'm not sure anybody could have won there. And now you can.
This coming from the same guy who used to curse, just massive obscenities every final 5 minutes of a Jets game because Rob Saleh doesn't know how to run a clock.
Oh, yeah, but see, then I saw Jeff Ulbrich and went, oh, it's that bad? Oh, okay. Then maybe you weren't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, so Jeff Ulbrich taught me a lot.
Absence kind of made the heart grow fonder.
No, I don't want him to come back to the Jets. I want him to go somewhere that he can succeed.
Yeah.
It also tells me a lot that that's one of the guys that the Raiders have already asked to speak to. And then I'll go Todd Monken.
Todd Monken, that was a good one.
Oh, you're saying Robert Saleh wasn't a good one?
No, Robert Saleh was not a good one. He probably will get a job in this cycle just because he'll be the last one who wants a job.
You got a lot of guys that want a job. There's only 6 openings. I give you 20 guys that want a job. It's so bad. Steve Spagnuolo's on his 3rd interview. I'm not sure I wouldn't rather give my head coaching job to Joe Biden than Steve Spagnuolo.
But hadn't Spags earned the shot again?
What, the 3rd one? I'm good. I've already seen you as a head coach. Didn't really enjoy it. And, oh, by the way, he's almost 70 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Yep.
Frankly, it should not surprise you that I'm off the Steve Spagnuolo getting another shot train. How many things does he have working against him for the criteria that I look for?
A bunch. He does have a bunch. All right, you go Todd Monken. I will go with Liam Cohen. Let's go.
1 year.
I know it's only 1 year, but again, I fall back on there's going to be somebody. There's going to be somebody that falls in love with an offensive guy, and if Cliff Kingsbury says, screw that, I actually have a chance to compete for, maybe win this division in the next couple of years in Washington, and then wait to see what jobs come open after this, I don't know. It just Jacksonville Jaguars, Las Vegas Raiders, Chicago Bears, it all kind of screams we're gonna go grab somebody that you don't expect to get hired right now. And I think Liam Cohen's probably at the top of that list for me. He's only been in Tampa Bay for a year. The offense is great, but he's also looking to make that next step. He could be a guy that wants to make that next step with an awful franchise.
Yeah, I don't abide by that. Hey, you had a dinner with Sean McVay, which means you're smart. No, I already did that. His name was Mike LaFleur. Didn't enjoy it much. I'll pass.
I mean, it worked for Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell.
It took quite a while, and he needed Sam Darnold to really make it work.
That was the missing piece.
They were not particularly good last year, if you recall.
Yep.
By the way, Jimothy said Bill Cowher and Gruden. Bill Cowher hasn't been in the league in 20 years. And John Gruden, I'm not going to be the one to do that. Maybe somebody else will. Not me.
John Gruden is now the head coaching carousel equivalent of Colin Kaepernick. Every time we go through this, somebody's going to bring up his name. Why can't we do this? Well, because, no. Just no. I don't want to explain to you why this is not going to work, because it's going to make me sound racist. But, no.
That would be at Sports Take ESPN if you'd like to reach out to him. Do not go Jay Green ESPN.
No.
He does not speak for me at all.
Indeed. You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville tonight. College football playoff semifinal matchup number 1.
What was your final score again?
19-17 Notre Dame.
I will go 21-13 Notre Dame.
Okay. All right. We shall see how it ends up. We'll recap it for you tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually going to be a
Football Friday. I won't be here tomorrow. I can promise you that. Because it's also going to be a Snowmageddon Friday.
We will see you back here on ESPN Asheville at noon.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
A new year.
And I'm back in the White House.
A secure border.
Drone threats. Shut down the government.
Is always a news year. Western North Carolina strong.
New journey. A new chapter. Something new.
Each few days.
In the new year.
On News Radio 570 WWNC.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step, with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold now, setting the grounds for snow. Winter storm watch for now. Most likely that will get upgraded. Most of our snow coming tomorrow night. Clear, cold morning, sunshine as we get into the second part of Thursday, right round freezing with a gusty breeze. Thickening clouds tonight, down to the middle teens. Snow developing sometime mid to late morning tomorrow, 32. That snow will continue into tomorrow night. Might get some mixing in spots, but it's going to be mainly snow and maybe 3 to 5 inches. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
From the Ingalls